Yes, guys, welcome to Flat Cap Euro Talk. It is Shamu and I here for this one. It is going to be PSG versus Leipzig tonight. I'm very much looking forward to it, as I always am when Champions League nights. It's probably usually some of my favorite, time of the weekend. But everybody, I would say, with Shamu joining me, it is going to be a very good one. David is going to be joining us at some point as well. But Shamu, I'm going to bring up the lineups here, but maybe any thoughts on this game, maybe to begin with?
Liking the PSG lineups looking quite good. I like Hakimi. He's one of my favorite, probably one of the best attacking right backs in the world right now for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action. As for the Leipzig team, I like Nkunku. I like him. You know my thoughts on him. And Angelino, he's one to watch out for Leipzig as well.
Hmm.
He's quite a good attacking left back.
I guess
So
it's
there's
Messi
and
that's going to be
Andre Silva's
missing
not
for
one,
this
but
one,
it's
though.
not bad.
Messi's missing
Big
for this
miss.
one,
I
which I
noticed he
find
wasn't even on the
interesting.
bench. Is he injured or something?
Yeah, I guess he might be.
Mm.
Anybody in the
Or
chat,
they
let
just
us
leave him
know.
behind?
But this is maybe they left him behind. But PSG, this is their lineup. Everybody, Donnarumma in goal, Hakimi as the right back, who I agree with Shmu is practically the best right back in the world. Marquinhos, Kimpembe, very very solid. Mendes, the recent signing from Sporting, who's honestly an unbelievable left back as well. Wijnaldum, Pereira, and Idrissa Gana Gueye, very hardworking midfield. Angel Di Maria, Kylian Mbappe, and Neymar up top. What's interesting about this is a bit more of a I wouldn't say conservative, but this is more kind of an easier kind of going, PSG side where normally their front three is practically, they don't press, they don't really do any defensive work whatsoever, and it's left the rest of the team very exposed at times. Where now maybe with someone like Angel Di Maria, Danilo Pereira, Wijnaldum, Idrissa Gana Gueye, it's actually very hard working now when you think about it. So Leipzig might struggle. But going on to Leipzig side, Gulacsi in goal, Willy Orban, the Hungarian international, Josip Gvardiol, the Croatian international, recent signing from Dinamo Zagreb, Simikan or Samakan. I believe he's from Strasbourg, I believe. Great, up and coming center back, French center back. Nodi Mukiele, of course, Conrad Leimer, Tyler Adams, actually, the American, starting in the middle of the field. We'll see how that goes. He's inconsistent, I will say, that player. So we'll see how that goes. Tassende, who I'm actually not too sure. I'm not familiar with him. So that'll be interesting. Emil Forsberg, Christopher Nkunku, who's just been ridiculous this season, and Andre Silva up top. No Angelino for this one. That will also be fascinating, I will say. Maybe he's
Oh,
also picked up an injury from maybe that we
I
don't
thought he
know
would have
about.
been right in there.
That I thought he
Maybe
would be
he's
like a
injured too.
mainstay for this one. So that's actually made it interesting because I thought that Angelino would pull up with he'd be one of those guys who would get like a hat trick of assists if you ask me. But Shamu, let's welcome some people into the building. Of course, you have your comment in here. Get your score predictions in and who might score. Please do, everybody, just like Shamu told you there. Kuva99, thank you for joining us, saying Leipzig just aren't the same without Nagelsmann. 3-0 to PSG if they hit their stride, but you never know with them. Yeah, you don't. You don't know. You seriously don't. Honestly, I actually have gone for a 4-3 for this one because, Leipzig, they still end up scoring no matter what.
Oof.
Tottenham Tantrum saying, hey, it is Luke Skywalker and Obi Wanoff, the European footballing world, taking all from the dark side to the light of European club football. Breaking news. Conte will be in the dugout for tomorrow. That is just unbelievable news. Thank you very much, Dermot. And Alexander Hilton in the building, of course. Big yourself up, Alexander. Thank you for joining us as well, man. Kuva99, of course, saying that Don has signed Messi for us. We'll see him in training tomorrow. That's the reason why he's missing, Kuva. That's exactly the reason why he's missing. Derek Hutchinson in the building saying, big up, Jack. Thank you very much, Derek Hutchinson. But also, like he said down here as well, like I needed you to, Derek. You already, before I even had to tell you, saying big enough, Shamu. And honestly, everybody, thank you for joining us
Big
for
up,
this one.
Derek.
The reason I chose RB Leipzig versus PSG, I know there are other great, really good games out there. Last time we did do Atletico versus Liverpool was a fantastic game to watch. But this is weird, actually. I just want to bring up the screen again. I'm seeing Angelino there. So maybe is this Tassende guy? That is Angelino.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm
Sorry,
not sure
guys.
who
So
he
I'm
is.
actually confused by that. So that must be his real name or something like that. So he
Okay.
just goes by some alter alias, it
Yeah.
seems like, for it, Shamu. So sorry, guys. Threw me off there. Angelino, I would say, is going to come up with a hat trick of assists. That dude has probably the best delivery from the left wing back position, I would argue, in all of world football. Like that dude, I mean, seriously, like his technical ability is incredible. His defending sometimes can not, be his greatest attribute, but at the same time, like he makes up for it with just being world class ability. That dude has world class ability. So definitely keep an eye on him. But the reason I picked this one, Shamu, and let me get your thoughts on this match. But the reason I picked it is just because I think it's going to be goals. I think there are going to be goals everywhere, all around the pitch. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. With all those players on the pitch, it screams goals. If Leipzig aren't going to score, then PSG will for sure. With all those players, Neymar and Mbappe, he's quick. He can get past Orban and those guys. I reckon easy. There's a back three as well, so back threes can go terribly if they don't perform with superstars on the pitch. With all PSG's team, they got that solid midfield three as well. It's not like an open three where they can kind of get through. They're all hard-working players. Like Garner Gay, Wijnaldum, they're kind of more defensive midfielders. So I reckon it could be a good battle, but I'll just go PSG unless Leipzig just do a mad thing and turn up.
Yeah, actually, I want it to be a good. I want it to be a good game, and I want Leipzig to actually give them a good match, give them good competition. I'm actually a bit worried for that, just because I feel like PSG have gone with a very strong lineup, and that's not like picking their best players. It's just picking players that do work very hard, and so it is the old Mbappe kind of Neymar combination with Angel Di Maria. I think Angel Di Maria has always been very undervalued, very underappreciated, because personally, I would think, some of the times that PSG made it so far last season or the season before in the Champions League in my opinion, had a lot to do with Angel Di Maria. I think a lot of times he doesn't really get the credit he really deserves. But Leipzig, despite how leaky they are defensively, I mean, I would say Jesse Marsch, the American coach, knows nothing from what I've seen about defending, but he knows a lot from attacking. And so, with that in mind, we might see a lot of goals from them, but also we'll see some very leaky defense from them as well. So I think it's just this is the reason I picked this game, Shmi. I just think there are going to be so many goals. I think it's going to be atrocious defending at times, and then just a lot of good goals.
Yeah. And Leipzig haven't been the best in the league as well. They haven't been picking up the best results there. So,
they've been really shaky in the Bundesliga. You're right.
Yeah, not like usual, except in Kunku. He's basically been carrying them a lot of the season just with the stuff he's doing, the assists and the crosses. He's unreal. I remember before the transfer window started at Spurs, I was saying to you, we should go for him. And that was before he
Apparently the Scum are actually supposedly after him. The Scum are supposedly after him. And that one just doesn't make sense to me, if you ask me, Shamu, just because I feel like
I don't like that.
It just doesn't make sense, though. Why would he, as much as, Leipzig, maybe they might not make it out of this group, but like, would he really trade, Leipzig for, the Scum right now, when he could probably just wait for a bigger move, either to maybe even Bayern or, someone else, or, even a PSG. He originally came from the PSG Academy, which kind of burned him. So he probably won't go back there. But maybe he'll go to the Premier League, to a bigger club, potentially. But I would just say Christopher Nkunku, everybody, that guy has been on fire, especially in the Champions League as well. The dude is just honestly on fire. But I would say Leipzig should not be written off for this one. So I am going to be rooting for Leipzig. Normally I kind of don't. I don't know if there are any other teams that I really despise more than PSG. I'm just not a PSG fan at the end of the day. I like a lot of their players. I just don't like PSG. And Di Maria would be the one that I kind of probably have a huge soft spot for in this squad, though, just because I think he's very undervalued and very underappreciated. But let's go a bit more to some of these comments here. When is the Sheriff one? I think it's kicking off at all the same time for this one, I would say.
Now,
Alexander Hilton.
Same time,
I think it's all kicking off at the same time.
You have to change that picture as well.
And then Big Pop is saying Dybala hasn't signed his contract extensions. Maybe a free transfer in the summer. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. I think he will sign the contract extension just because he is now the main man back at Juventus. But if he really wants to change a pace or change of scenery, he could maybe think about, going over to the Premier League. And maybe if he wanted that playing time, Spurs would be an option. I would say Spurs could be an option. But David is now joining us. Thanks for joining us, David. Appreciate you tuning in. I have just kicked off. I'm not really too concerned about us all being in sync. It's not really the biggest deal in the world. I'm already seeing Andre Silva in behind, and it's a shot on goal, and it's almost gone into the goal. Oh my God. It's almost gone into the goal. He might have been offsides originally,
Wow.
Andre Silva. But that
This
was
is
already
exactly
a
what we were
kickoff
talking
there,
about,
Dave.
Jack.
Dave, sorry for interrupting, my entrance to you, but, they've almost already scored right away, RB Leipzig. So, Dave, how you keeping?
Oh, I think he might be slightly offside
No,
there.
look, Jack, don't worry. We have to keep Jesus Christ.
Slightly
That was
offside there.
cool.
But nearly nutmegged the
Ron
keeper.
smiling.
Deflection off Marquinhos and then cleared.
Sorry, Dave. What were you saying?
Nutmegged him there.
No, just big up everybody that's tuning in, Absolutely love it. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. But look, it's good to be here, Jack. Look, it's nice to be able to tune into some of these big games that are happening and, share them with other like-minded people who want to tune in and watch it with us and that. So an absolute cracker of a game here today, lad.
It's one thing, Dave. I mean, nowadays we're so busy that it's kind of hard to, stay tuned to all this stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of my job to stay tuned for all this, Dave. So you're in my dojo now when it comes to this kind of a scenery. But I would say, Dave,
Finally, a bit of
if you
calm
had to
in the
pick
game.
between, just quickly, Shmoo, just asking Dave, if you had to pick between, the two, Dave, Leipzig, PSG, who's your team?
Look, Pochettino's at PSG. Look, I don't like to say it, but I would like to see Pochettino do well. You know what I mean? At PSG, so I would like to see PSG win this. But look, I like Leipzig. I like Leipzig. I don't mind Leipzig, to be fair.
The reason I picked this game, David, too, as well, because I actually think there are going to be a lot of goals in this match. I genuinely think so. I mean, Jesse Marsch has had one of the most leaky defenses in all of Europe, but at the same time, he's also scored a lot of goals in the Champions League as well. So it just kind of makes you think, maybe just in this sort of game, it's just going to be a back and forth battle that I'm really looking forward to. So that's why I picked this game over the Atletico Liverpool game, which we went for last time.
Yeah, no, look, I think this will be an absolute cracker. I think you're right. I think there will be goals tonight. I really do. Look, you look at the PSG front line. How can you not want to tune in and, think that there's going to be goals scored? But Leipzig can also get forward. That's the thing. Leipzig were very, very good at getting forward at times. And they can also break teams down and score goals. So it'll be very interesting to see how this game pans out today. Because, look, PSG, they're not exactly on the greatest of form in that. And, Leipzig, I think it's a must-win for Leipzig tonight, is it not?
I think it is, actually, considering, they've done decently against Man City, even though they didn't get any points there. They tried against Leipzig last time. I don't believe they came up with any points there. So I think it is must win for them. It's actually all or nothing.
Leipzig on 0.
Yeah, Leipzig on 0 points. So they might just try to ruin the party for somebody.
Very interesting to see if they can cause an upset here today.
Even salvage a Europa League spot, I guess.
That's it as well, Jack. They'd want to be trying to salvage that Europa League spot. They don't want to be going out of Europe that early. So very, very interesting to see how this game unfolds today.
I would even argue as well, like if they don't get the Europa League spot, I mean, I guess I'm not too kind to maybe, my American brethren, but I would say I would sack Jesse Marsch if he doesn't get Europa League. I genuinely would. As much as this is like a tough group for them, they've had actually a lot of investment this last summer, Dave. They really did. I thought Leipzig, in fact, had the best summer window when you think about it as well of the Bundesliga. He's had decent investment. Maybe it's just all about integrating everybody into the squad, but they have not had a strong start to the Bundesliga. RB Leipzig, they've been very inconsistent, very shaky, but they do play beautiful football. I've been watching right now as Christopher Nkunku is in behind, but he is offsides. But this is what I will say about Jesse Marsch, Dave, and I think Jesse Marsch, he doesn't know how to get his team to defend, but he does know how to get his team to attack, which I think is very interesting. In fact, probably why even when he was at RB Salzburg were a very good team going forward, but they were not such a great team defending. So, it is just always fascinating, I would say, Jesse Marsch. I think he's a very much an up-and-coming coach, but at the same time, the guy, I will say, has got to learn how to be able to enforce some defensive tactics. But, Shamu, what's your score prediction?
I'm going for 3-2, maybe something like that, or like you said, 4-3, or something. A 1-goal difference, but I reckon high scoring. No chance of a 0-0. I just saw Neymar go on the ground. I mean, he got tackled, but come on. Falling around the ground like David to kick him or something.
Yeah, Neymar is always going to be on the floor. If anybody wants to sync up with me, these guys might be ahead of me, but, maybe I'll find out if they are while I say this. I am now at 5 minutes and 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, but I'm probably sure they're ahead of me. David, what time are you on?
Me, I'm just having to go on to a different stream.
I can link up with you, Jack.
Start stalling, so I'm just going on to a new one here.
Thank you. Well, if anybody wants to sync up with me, I'm at 5 minutes and 20 seconds, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm seeing Mbappe on the ball, doing a few too many hesitations there. And it gets kind of out muscled by Samakan there, or Simicon, who I will say I do like, his headband and the dreads as well, actually. It's quite classy.
So, Jack, I'm on 5 minutes, 10 seconds.
I'm on now 43, 44, 45. I can try to pause, but I don't think it lets me.
Wow. No, give me a minute. I'll find a better
I'm on 5:50 now, Jack. Is that all right?
5:50? I think we're right in sync then. For some reason, Paramount Plus does not let me pause it, which is pretty horrible.
I'm on 6 minutes now.
Yeah, I can pause mine. So
sounds like we're all in sync, because I just hit 6 minutes about 7 seconds ago. I just hit 6 minutes.
We're all in sync.
So I think we're all around in sync. So
yep.
If everybody's in that 6 minute 15 mark, 6:15, 6:20 mark, feel free to tune in with us. Again, David and I, we will be getting, a bit more technically advanced when it comes to at least the main channel, when it comes to watch alongs, and, try to put up a timer. But I will say, David and I, we're not the best technically, we're not the most technically gifted, despite us being technically gifted, probably footballers, not so much technically gifted when it comes to this sort of thing. And we will improve that aspect. But just want to talk to a few more people in the chat here quickly. Lads, just make sure that, they're keeping okay. Get this back over here. JC's in the building saying, big up, lads. Big yourself up, JC. Good to see you, my man. Will there be a Barella scout video? Alexander Hilton, if we got Barella, I will be all over it. I actually personally think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. Genuinely. And it's Christopher Cuckoo with a goal! Against the PSG.
There you go.
Come
I called him. I said, what's up
Imavita. Jawohl. Jawohl für die Leipziger. I hope he's on sides here. But Christopher Nkunku, the man that's absolutely on fire. I mean, you could cook an egg on him right now. The guy is so on fire right now under Jesse Marsh's side. A brilliant ball in from Andre Silva with the left peg. Oh, he's way on sides there. And he just hits it past Donnarumma. They're here to spoil a party tonight. They're here to spoil a party, RB Leipzig. Christopher Nkunku, like I said, the guy is just honestly, he's on fire. He's on fire. He's absolutely on fire.
That's shocking play by PSG trying to play with.
That's what we were saying before. We were saying
what a fist pump by Jesse Marsh as well. That's a glorious fist pump.
Look at him.
He rocks the white kicks. I love a good pair of white kicks. So I like the way he's rocking white kicks.
I'm all about the white kicks as well, Dave. Yeah, honestly, he knows the style. But everybody, Christopher Nkunku just scored 5 goals in 4 matches, I think, and that's just in the Champions League alone. The guy is, again, I don't even know. I think even saying you could cook an egg on him right now, he's so hot, is an understatement. The dude is honestly on fire right now under Jesse Marsh's side. They're going to try to spoil the party here. It is going to be maybe a bit of a difficult one, I would say. And I'm just expecting goals galore, but an unbelievable finish. This is what we do expect from RB Leipzig this season. They're not very good defensively, but they are absolutely lethal going forward. Absolutely lethal. And they create so many chances. They're fascinating to watch. And PSG seem a bit rattled there with Kimpembe playing it out of bounds there, and Nordi Mukiele taking in the throw-in. But I'm absolutely delighted. This is what I want to see. I want to see Leipzig come up with a result here. I just want to see that group get a bit more interesting. I don't want it to be I don't want Leipzig to finish with 0 points, because they've given a lot of good games this group. They have given the entertainment factor.
That's a shocking pass. If you put that to the back post, he was in. 2-0.
On Helino there on the ball. But yes, Alexander Hinton, Barella video should come soon. I want it to come soon. I'd be skeptical if we were able to get him. If we did, I'm not kidding. We're signing one of the best midfielders in the world. And I would probably get rid of Tanguy or Gio right away to get him instead. I really would. But Christopher Nkunku in here again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and there's has to be a pen there.
Penalty.
And it's a penalty.
I think there could be an offside with the first header. I think the first header, the guy came from an offside position.
It was falling apart here.
I think the
first header that rattled. I have a feeling they'd be a bit rattled.
I think the first header that Leipzig won to build that attack, I think your man came from an offside position.
Maybe he was, but I would say there was almost 2 penalty shouts in there.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? That was greedy. Someone should have played Angelino in there. He was screaming for it.
Look at that for a red.
Yeah, actually, stopping a goal scoring opportunity.
He's
Should that
the
not be
last
straight
man.
red?
That should be a
defender
red
there,
card. You're right, Shamu. That should be a red
That
card.
should be a red card.
Surely
Let us know in the
VAR won't
comments,
do it.
everybody.
You know,
Disabled team is in the building
because
quickly
he's
before
last
the
man, and
penalty
then
is
he's
taken.
pulled him
Disabled
down.
teams in the building. COVID-90 sign saying, why do I feel sad when I see Poch pacing up and down the touchline with no Spurs crest on? I mean, Poch is honestly losing his shit. That's why I would say COVID-99. He's probably absolutely rattled by the guys. The news guys in the building just got home. What a treat to see this watch. Like, honestly, this is going to be a fantastic match, the news guy. This is the reason I picked this match. It's just going to be ridiculous, this match. It really is. Like, goals galore is what I'm seeing. Goals galore. And also to see a big PSG upset would be nice as well. I kind of don't like PSG, so I would definitely despise them. Demi Hamden, I'm gonna have to block you. Sorry.
Take this.
No spamming in the comments. Sorry, Denny Hamden. I'm just gonna have to block you right away. Wish you could join us for it, but no spamming in the live chat, please. Of any sort of sites or whatsoever. It's Tony Hall's in the building saying, hello, guys. Big yourself up, Tony. Good to see you. Andre Silva about to take the penalty, and it's saved by Donnarumma.
Shocking. That's not even anywhere near the corner. That is shocking.
It felt like he could have gone either side, David. He probably would have still saved it. That is shocking. Yeah, you're right, David. That is shocking by Andre Silva. PSG get a lifeline through Donnarumma there. Seeing the replay now, that is just
it's not even in the corner. It's nowhere near the corner. It's shocking.
I don't know why it's such a David. He also is such a robust, Dave, kind of like walk up as well. And he only hits it that hard. You would kind of think like we saw Kessier in our scout report, Dave. I mean, the guy would walk up to the ball and hit it top bins. Yeah. You see that, instead. That's just a bit shocking.
Don't get me wrong. Look, Donnarumma is one of the best keepers in the world, if not the best keeper in the world, especially at saving penalties. Because look, Jack, look at the size of the guy. Look how wide he is as well.
Yeah.
Standing in goals, it's very, very intimidating. Because the guy nearly fills the goals. You know what I mean? So you feel like you only have a narrow margin, kind of, if he does dive the right way, to be able to put it by him. But that wasn't even anywhere near the corner. That's an absolute shocking penalty, But I don't know. Look, when you have someone like Donnarumma in goals, because of the sheer size of the guy, you know what I mean? Wait for him to make his first move and then hit the penalty.
David, well said, well analyzed as well. Tony Hall, it's good to see you, though. Par Miguel's in the building saying Leipzig have a pen. Dan N saying Jesse Marsh needs to be U.S. men's national team's coach. I would say Dan N, as much as I kind of have ripped on Jesse Marsh before, I would say that's almost too good. Oh my gosh, what a brilliant
chance.
I would say Dan N, I think Jesse Marsh, he's almost too good for the U.S. men's national team. Like, I think he's actually kind of making a name for himself in world football. As much as, he would be great for the U.S. men's national team, I think he's too good for it. I think that's kind of the problem. I think he's just too good for it. He really is.
Did he manage in the MLS, Jesse Marsh?
I'm not even sure. I think he has a German last name. Yeah. He has a German last name, and he knows and he speaks German fluently. So I have this feeling that maybe he has a bit of a German background.
Is he American though? Yeah,
he is American, but I don't know very much about him apart from his RB Salzburg days and his recent form at RB Leipzig. I don't really know too much about him. All I would say is personally, I think he's a bit above the pedigree, I would say, of the U.S. men's national team. That's not really it's just not really realistic, I think. But Dan N, if you're a fan of the U.S. men's national team, which I'm sure you are, I think that would be a fantastic player, fantastic manager to get. But I do think it's, he's just better than them. I would say, arguably, I just think he's better than them at the end of the day. PSG are asleep from Big Papa. I completely agree. Killian Kenny's in the building. Big up, Jack and David. Also, Killian Kenny, give a big up to Shamu as well, please, if you can. But good to see you, Killian. Happy to see you as well, my brother. There's your shout out. Well done, my man. Thank you for joining us. True Blue Spurs. Bryce is in the building saying, what's the score? I've just got in. It is 1-0 currently to Leipzig, and we're 14 minutes and around 33 seconds, 34 seconds, 35 seconds in. Neymar with a shocking touch just happening.
And just to add, PSG could be 2 or 3 down right now as well.
They should be.
Oh, there he goes again. He's rolling the ground.
Neymar's flopping when it's against one of my own teams. I will say I absolutely start throwing things around the room. I probably should be in like one of those kind of penitentiary rooms, because genuinely I start breaking things when Neymar's playing against one of my own teams. That dude
he makes you so angry when he's playing against you.
The biggest thing that I hate about it, David, is that he'll flop against one of your players. and then he'll throw his legs up at the guy, you know, where he like cleats them after, or he does some sort of shithousery after, or he'll like, so a guy will like so David, a guy will take him down and then he'll like, you know, cleat him in the nuts and like all these things. It's just like the guy's just as if like, you know, diving was already bad enough. The guy will then like cleat the guy that he dived on. I mean, I just think he's an absolute, I'm not going to use, you know, the words that I want to use, but Neymar, I would say, as much as I admire the skill, as much as I think he's a beautiful footballer to watch, I just despise him. I genuinely despise him. Like,
what does Paredes have to do to get into this team, Jack?
I agree, Dave. I agree.
This season, and I haven't seen him start. He's an absolute
seems like Pochettino just doesn't seem to rate him, Dave. So that would be a player I think we should go after personally. I really do.
Do you reckon Conte might say to like a para teacher or something, look, you know, go after someone like a Paredes? But do you think then we also have maybe similar players to him in Højbjerg and Skip already?
Maybe, but I would say in Leandro Paredes' case, I think he would be like, how would I put this? We're going after Franck Kessié. If we got Franck Kessié, Dave, I would say it's a bit overkill. But what I like about Leandro Paredes is, Dave, he is good defensively, but he's actually a great passer of the ball. And I think that's one of his very underrated qualities, is that during those years when they didn't have Messi, you know, before this big rebuild that, you know, PSG had, Dave, it was Leandro Paredes actually connecting, you know, the midfield to the attack. It was him always giving those beautiful through balls into Mbappe, into Neymar and whatnot. So I think that's something that has maybe gone unnoticed about Paredes' game. And it is Christopher Nkunku in. Oh, that's a fantastic chance.
Oh.
That's a fantastic chance. Oh, I will say Leipzig are a beautiful team to watch. They are a beautiful team to watch right now. This is beautiful football that they are playing.
They've come to play like the Miz.
Oh, that is a great chance.
And PSG just haven't woken up to it.
No, they haven't. You're right, Shamil. You're right.
That's a brilliant.
Dan N saying Marsh is American.
Could have been 3-0.
Yeah.
I think Jesse Marsh would like to do it one day, Dan N, but I think too much is going for him at the moment. Just let me get to these comments
that
first.
Been a red card, or why wasn't that even checked?
Yeah.
User 51 saying great watch along, guys. Thank you very much, User 51. Thank you very much. Appreciate you tuning in as well. You know, I'm sure you might have already subscribed. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe as well to never miss another watch along, or even a scout report as well, which we're definitely keen on over here. Kieran Keys is joining us. Kieran, fantastic job on the fan show. We want to see you next time, Kieran. We want to see you. Just get yourself into the fan shows. We'll reserve a spot for you, my man. He says, evening, lads. Good game so far. Plus watching along with the fellow flat cappers. I mean, maybe I'm actually the one left out here. So, Kieran, I'm going to put it on the flat cap right now. I apologize for that, Kieran. That's on me there. That's on me there.
Jack. Amateur.
No, honestly, amateur hour. It's amateur hour.
The channel name is Flat Cap.
It's amateur hour. I think it was because I showered earlier, Dave. You know, wanted the nice hair to be looking good. You know, and people seem to sometimes like me without the flat cap. So, you know, it's a bit counterintuitive sometimes.
Look, Jack, don't worry about it. I've had plenty of them amateur hours. Sometimes the start of the show, I can't even get my words out.
He's to see you next Tuesday. I love that you know that, True Blue Spurs. There you go. That's what I needed to say. That's what I wanted to be able to say. That's exactly what he is. I'm not kidding. Claude Murphy's in the building saying, big up, come on, you Spurs. Come on, Claude. There you go, my man. Matthew THFC Collins, how on earth are Leipzig not well in front? They should be 3-0, 4-0 in front, genuinely. But that's what it is with Leipzig, Matthew. I would say they just create that many chances.
And PSG should have a red.
And PSG should have a red. There you go, Shamil. They actually should have a red. And also, I would say, Matthew, it's just that's what Leipzig are. They create so many chances that sometimes you're genuinely just like, how's this team not won 12-0, 13-0 sometimes the way they create some of these chances. But I would say that's the credit to Jesse Marsh. He knows how to play attacking football. The defensive football does need to improve under him. Para Miguel Escobardo heard around the grounds saying City won, or they're tied right now, 1-1 between Club Brugge and City. I went for a Vanaken or a Charles de Ketelaere brace. I would say Para Miguel Escobardo. Charles de Ketelaere is a guy I would keep an eye on. Definitely keep an eye on. That guy's absolutely beautiful to watch. Lazy Eights in the building. Top of the evening, lads. Wait, Shamalama must be 5 a.m. for you. What time is it for you, Shamil?
9:21. So not too bad. 9:21 in the morning.
Nice little early morning Champions League, lazy. I would say, you get to wake up with something a bit special, maybe something a bit special that Shamu probably uses for himself to wake himself up, and then meet it with a bit of coffee, and whatnot. Shamu, it's just good vibes all around. Just good vibes all around. Jerry as well joining us. Oh, there's Jack. Didn't know who that was. I guess, yeah, no one was recognizing me without the flat cap. That's what it probably was. No one was recognizing me. So sorry about that, Jerry. Spurs 72 saying, evening, Jack. Hope you guys are well. Big up, Spurs 72. Thank you for joining us as well. Everybody that's joined us so far, thank you very much. Sorry, guys. Just wanted to greet all the people because it started flooding in now. So I just wanted to greet everybody. It is Mbappe in behind to Neymar.
You greedy. Oh, good finish. Well done.
To Wijnaldum.
It's a goal.
I want to know if Mbappe didn't look onside.
Goal. There we go. Game on. Just like we were saying, plenty of goals. This is a game. This is the one to watch.
I think this has been fantastic game to watch, but I'm actually surprised. It didn't look like Mbappe was onside to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
And just as you were saying, Jack, Jesse Marsh, good at attacking, doesn't know how to defend. There you go.
Yeah, no, genuinely never.
He's onside there.
Angelino is the last man back there. Like, why is Angelino, the left wing back, the one trying to
you
defend
watch the VAR that they won't check that thing before with a penalty. I'm not having that. I'd be raging if I was that striker.
Do you know what, lads? I've watched a bit of PSG this season in Champions League, and do you know what? Their midfield is a big problem. They can never really get a proper foothold in the game. I know Wijnaldum has just scored, but from what I see of them, the reason why you're not seeing so much more of them going forward is because if you think about it, in the transfer window, yeah, they got in a goalkeeper, they got in defenders, they got in forward players, but they didn't really get in any midfielders, and they have absolutely no midfield.
I think as a counterpoint, Dave, though, I would argue, I think it's been because the front three doesn't do anything, like defensively. So the midfield gets exposed. When you think about it. So if you have nobody in that's been Man United's problem, where the entire front three doesn't really do very much defensive work or really any pressing, or basically just makes everything way too easy. So then what happens is, this is a great opportunity for Leipzig here. Oh, he's got to do so much better.
That's greedy. His players queuing up at the back.
Oh, Angelino. Oh, that was a disgusting egg.
Do you know what, Jack? Do you know what? You make a good point there.
I think it's similar to Man United's problem, Dave.
With the sheer amount of talent they have, they should be they should be bossing the games. They should be bossing possession. You know what I mean? And they don't. And the reason why they don't is because they don't have that midfielder to be able to do it.
Maybe so, but is it also just because when teams kind of take the game to them, they struggle? Like I said, though, Dave, like if you can just pass through their front three, no problem. That means the other team can just dictate possession very easily when you think about it that way. If every pass is very easy for the center backs or for the fullbacks and whatnot, and there's nobody tracking back as well to, guard the runs of Angelino or Mukiele and, whatnot, Dave, makes it kind of easier actually for the other team to do something. If the other team want to go for it, I guess that's the other thing. If the other team goes for it.
You are correct in what you're saying 100%. But on the ball, when PSG are on the ball, they lose it very, very easily as well.
Oh, I see where you're
saying. Because they don't have that midfielder to be able to get on the ball, to be able to ping passes, keep possession. And if you had that midfielder in there, you'd see PSG control a lot more games because they have players to be able to do it.
I see what you're saying. There's no Guimaraes in there. There's no Kessie in there to dictate the play.
Defensively, what you're saying is absolutely spot on. You're absolutely correct.
But what you're saying, though, Dave, is there's no midfielder though that's like a Modric or a Toni Kroos or like something that can be able to at least control possession, dictate the tempo, like you said. Really, when you think about it, it's a two-part problem actually. It's a two-part problem.
Do you think PSG maybe play on the counter, lads? Because Mbappe with his pace, Neymar as well, and Di Maria or whoever else comes in, do you think they purposely play on the counter?
They did against Bayern, when it came to the Champions League last season. When I genuinely, Dave, I've never seen a game where one team dominated another team so hard, but lost, the fixture. Yeah. Because what was it? I think Bayern created over the two legs. I think Bayern created something like 70 shots or like something, and whatnot. 30 of them were on target. Keylor Navas, I remember, was their player of that whole fixture. and they just relied on the pace of Mbappe and Neymar to get through and just take the chances that were created when Bayern exposed themselves too much. And I think that's the same case here with Leipzig to a degree. And I don't know. That's my problem with PSG, Dave. I kind of just like, you look at all that star power, you look at that team that's basically worth, an entire country's GDP, and yet they play on the counterattack. And it's just like, it's kind of sad. You know what I think about it, Dave? Like, if you created that team, is that really how would you want to play? Like, imagine creating a team like that and then playing on the counterattack, Dave. Like, it's just kind of.
But see, do you know what, Jack? This is the thing. They're probably playing on the counter because they don't have that midfielder to be able to keep possession.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I agree with you. With all the star talent, they don't exactly play this magnificent football. You know, I've actually been very, very underwhelmed and disappointed.
But that's why I kind of don't like them very much, Dave, because it just seems kind of silly. It's just kind of like, why would you? I mean, people that are PSG fans, like, you're welcome to be a PSG fan.
Well, I mean, half the world is, Jack. Anytime you play FIFA, all these little runs keep it.
But genuinely, that's like my problem with them, Dave. It's just kind of like, why would you have all that star talent if you're not going to dominate the game? Like, why are teams that are so much lesser than them dominating the tempo and looking like the better team when you think about it? So that's like kind of the thing. It's just it's sad when you think about it. It's kind of sad. You're just kind of like, I don't know if it's counterintuitive, Dave, but I think it's just genuinely, you're just kind of like, okay, so, why would a team that has basically the best team in the world be playing on the counterattack? It just seems a bit cheap. It seems a bit, kind of just counterintuitive, really. Like, I think that's the best word to use, So, genuine. And I don't think it has anything to do with Poch. It doesn't have anything to do with Poch because he's, the one of the most attacking managers there is.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think if they had someone like a Bruno Guimaraes that might solve their problem, Jack?
I genuinely, Dave, like I said, I think Bruno Guimaraes is genuinely the best tempo setter in all of world football. I really do think so. I think Toni Kroos and Modric together used to be the best tempo setters in world football. And then I think Bruno Guimaraes is practically a combination of the two. When I think about it, he's like a combination of those two. I genuinely rate the guy that highly. I've never seen a guy, and yeah, as you said too as well, David, never seen a guy play passes like that and also get stuck in like he does. He's basically almost like a Roy Keane and Paul Scholes mixed together. Genuinely, he's that ridiculous. I think genuinely, yeah. And so that's why I think Spurs should pay any price for the guy. I really would. I would pay 70-80 million for the guy. Generally would. I pay 100 million for the guy, and I don't like 100 million pound players, but I would that's how much I rate him.
He's a throwback. Do you know what, Jack? He'd solve all the PSG's problems because the more I think about it, right, the guy can play balls from the deep line position in midfield. But even with the way he passes, he's constantly looking forward, the first thing he does, he gets the ball, looks forward, and he can float out left, he can float right, he can float 50 yards, or else he can pass it 10 yards. You know what I mean? He's absolutely brilliant. There's all the passing range you need. And if you slide him into this PSG team in a CDM role, this PSG team, I think, will be transformed.
I think it would, but this is why also I see why you rate Paredes though so much, Dave, and why he maybe should be put into this team, because I would say Leandro Paredes is like a cheap man's Guimaraes. I generally would, because he gets stuck in like Guimaraes does, but he also plays beautiful passes. His passing range is actually very underrated, in my opinion. So I genuinely think, Dave, maybe if they put Paredes into that side, actually, you might see a bit better end product. Maybe that's what Poch is getting wrong right now. Adam is in the building. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Adam. He's saying David eats FIFA runts for breakfast. He certainly does. He honestly, I mean, especially what you see David and I do on co-op seasons, Adam. I mean, genuinely, like sometimes it's not fair what we do to people. It's really not fair, Dave.
I still sit there, and get hard on looking at that ball from Reguilon into Harry Kane against Man United that night, lad. I still get hard on looking at it. I can't believe it. Like, that's just, honestly, that's execution stuff. That's just, it's unbelievable.
And the communication is also top notch, Dave, whenever we're with each other as well.
We're all over it, lad. Division 1 doesn't know what's coming, lad.
Oh, they genuinely don't. Genuinely don't. Spurs 72 saying too many individuals at PSG. That's well said.
Jesse March is unhappy.
Jesse March gets a yellow card, Antonio Conte style. I can't wait till Antonio Conte gets his first yellow card on the sideline.
I'm a cheer the shit out of that.
He's going to be Gareth Southgate on his bench.
Look at him.
There's a guy on his bench
he's fired up.
You love to see
thinks he's playing American football or something. And he can just come out
that's something you wouldn't see Nuno do. Nuno will be standing there like a mannequin.
Probably let it bounce off of him. Yeah, when you think about it. Send Winks and send Winks, Ali, and Davies to PSG. Yeah, honestly, I think that would be probably Pochettino's biggest punishment. I don't think that guy ever wants to see them ever again, if you ask me. What an unbelievable touch by that was Mendes there. Mendes there from Sporting. That was an unbelievable touch.
Unbelievable touch, but what was the point of doing that if you're going to knock it 50 yards ahead of you on the second one? You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, you're right.
It's the Stevie B sort of thing, that. There you are, 50 yards ahead of me.
Undid all that hard work.
He undoes it all.
The hard part, the easy part was to knock it a meter forward.
It's Tony Hall saying, I just think PSG have too many egos in the dressing room, and I feel like Poch is not making the most out of this team. I think that's been always the problem with PSG. We saw Thomas Tuchel, now he's practically rated as one of the best managers in world football, but under PSG, he's kind of experienced some of the more of the same problems when you think about it as well. So it's just PSG in general. I just think Neymar is that toxic, Tony Hall. I genuinely think he's that toxic. I think he's made Mbappe even into kind of a toxic. Oh my God, get him off the pitch.
Oh, Jesus
Christ, get him off the pitch.
Oh,
Jesus, what is it, Kempembe doing on the pitch? That sort of tackle. Jesus.
And there.
Jesus Christ, this is starting WWE.
Ref, how is that just a yellow? Also, I'm pretty sure he got away with a penalty earlier. I mean, not even a red card earlier. Christ, ref.
I mean, yeah.
Look,
100%.
Jesus Christ, you may as well give Marquinhos a saddle. I absolutely love Marquinhos, though. This is why
I do love Marquinhos as well.
He's such a shithouse. If he's
he's classier than Kempembe. He's classier than Kempembe, I think, personally. I like Marquinhos.
I don't rate Kempembe. I do not rate Kempembe. I think Marquinhos is unbelievable. I don't rate Kempembe.
I agree with that. I think Marquinhos has been secretly one of the best defenders in the world. Just making sure I'm not missing any comments here, everybody. Everybody's honestly enjoying this game, I can tell. Everybody's enjoying it. They're glad to see both of you as well. So big everybody up, honestly. Catman Jess as well. Saying big up the Flat Cap Army. Big yourself up, Catman Jess. Thank you very much for joining us.
Up, Catman. Up the Flat Cap Army. Come on, up the Flat Cap Army.
I'm going to sit back and watch a little bit of this game. I think I've been trying to, game manage this chat a little bit too much, everybody. But I do, I appreciate everybody for tuning in right now. And as well, though, we will be probably playing some more FIFA tonight, everybody. So just stay tuned to the Twitch channel, flatcapeurotalk, the same name as the YouTube channel. We'll probably be running a bit of co-op seasons tonight, everybody.
Yeah, the long awaited. So many people have been asking for it. When you guys going to be linking back up? You know what I mean? We want to see the co-op season, so we're going to try and deliver for you today, lads.
Well, we had to give the online community a break, though, Dave, because genuinely, the massacres that we were creating online was, just, you had to give them a break.
Well, the next time I went to load up FIFA, I got a message saying, look, you have to take 2 days offline. You're banned for 2 days offline. What you done last night, what you and Jack done last night is absolutely illegal. It breaks every terms and conditions, so we're going to have to ban you for a couple of days.
Who should be banned there, David, is Kylian Mbappe, honestly. He megged the guy, but then he just threw himself into the air after he megged him, genuinely. This is what I'm talking about. I think, honestly, Neymar's been a bad influence on him, Dave. I genuinely do think so. That's the kind of thing that...
auditioning for America's Got Talent, Jack.
But this is what I mean, though, Dave. Like, Jesus, Andre Silva, you selfish. Jesus.
Who's that idiot at the back? Who passed it off the back of his own player? If Harry Winks done that, I'd absolutely kill him.
I think that might have been Kimpembe.
My God, what an absolute dope. Not a fair tackle, actually. He got the ball on that one.
Oh, no, it was the second one, though, Dave.
Yeah, that one, no, that's just abuse.
That's what does he think he's winning the ball there?
That's just complete neglect. Do you know what, though, Jack? All the chances Leipzig have had earlier on, they've completely started to fade out the game. And it's going to be dangerous for them. PSG now if PSG haven't played well, but if they can get going, they'll slap these.
This is what I mean, though, with PSG. I feel like they kind of...
that's another yellow. Jesus
PSG,
Christ.
They kind of get... David, if they hold on, they kind of know how to... I guess the phrase is they know they're actually a snatch and grab team. And that's what I kind of hate about them again. It's like, you would think with that sort of team, they wouldn't be a snatch and grab team, but they genuinely are. That's what I kind of don't... I don't know, Dave. As you could probably tell, it's kind of like Man City. I really hate PSG. And it's just because at least with Man City, you see the philosophy, you see that, the way they play and everything. But genuinely, like with PSG, sometimes I'm just like, it's literally just a Hollywood team. It's really just a Hollywood team that plays snatch and grab football. But Nordy Mukiele here, he's got to do better there, Nordy.
Jesus
He's
Christ,
got to
that's
take a shot on goal, maybe at least take a shot on
That's a
goal, my
shoot.
man.
Shoot. If not, touch it backwards and let the other guy who passed him in shoot.
I mean, we saw
That
Cody
from that
Gakpo
angle.
in that scout report day finish it from that angle, probably time and time and time again.
Yep.
Might as well.
That
Might as well take a shot.
That Gakpo will be a very good player in a few years. He's going to be very good.
I think Kuva99 actually, since he's in the chat, he brought up actually a good argument though.
I've seen
He
it.
brought up a good argument
looking
against him. He brought up a good argument saying Stevie B was higher rated than Cody Gakpo, and actually that was true. Stevie B was higher rated, but I think the big difference between the two is they're just different body types and different types of playing styles, and that's why I think is maybe the big difference, between the two personally. But I wanted to be a bit, because I love the guy Cody Gakpo, but I started to kind of think about it. I was like, maybe I shouldn't get too ahead of myself with this guy just because, he could pull off a Stevie B kind of, situation.
No.
But then again, I think he's a very different player.
The difference between Stevie B and Cody Gakpo is Stevie B doesn't really like playing with the ball at his feet. He's one of them players. He likes to knock it by a player and use his pace. Cody Gakpo has great close control, which will always get him out of problems.
And maybe I guess the finishing ability as well.
And the finishing. I mean, you look at the finishing, Jack. That would the way he doesn't just put his foot through it. He strokes it. You know what I mean? He strokes that ball. He's a good finisher.
I mean, Dave, even we saw how much the bar was just being abused and the post was just being abused by that guy sometimes. Like you were just thinking like, probably got to check the ball in case it's been deflated the way he's been hitting it, honestly, sometimes.
I think he'll end up with a better career than Steven Bergwijn.
But I actually I would say though, Kuva, it's by no means am I saying like, I think you're wrong. I actually generally think like it kind of made me kind of think about it a bit further. Like maybe that's why we all got ahead of ourselves with Stevie B was the same reason I'm getting ahead of myself with Cody Gakpo, Kuva. But I don't even think Kuva was really slamming Cody Gakpo. He was just saying whenever he's seen him play, he hasn't seen the Cody Gakpo that I guess we're talking about. And that sometimes is the case. Players can fade out of games and we don't. And that's the case with Stevie B as well. He fades out of games, maybe just like Cody Gakpo can as well. But
maybe Stevie B can't even get into games.
But there you are. But honestly, Kuva, I would say fantastic comment. Really, genuinely fantastic comment.
He did raise a very good point, to be fair. He did
raise very good points.
Look, that's something if Cody Gakpo or if Gakpo can fucking
is he offside there?
If he can add a bit more consistency to his game, you know what I mean?
And
a chance outside the Eredivisie, I think he'll do well,
I think he would as well. But Kuva99 saying, David, both my kids now have flat caps too. My youngest son won't take his off for anything.
Kuva was absolutely rocking the flat cap the other night, by the way, on the fan show. You can tell he absolutely loves it. I'll be honest with you. I'd be surprised if Kuva wasn't already rocking the flat caps before us.
I know, he genuinely is. I mean, look at the beautiful beard that he had as well, David. He probably was rocking it before us.
Yeah, look, that's probably why Nuno got sacked, because they looked at Kuva's beard and they were just like, no, look, we can't have fans with better beards than our manager. He has to go,
Yeah, well said, Dave. Well said.
Kuva was cracking me up, though. He provided me with some great laughs. He was brilliant.
Kuva, hopefully, though, you can stay with us.
Was a chance to
he has to be offsides, yeah. Kuva, though, hopefully you're able to stick with us, though, for this one. And again, honestly, some of your comments, on every video, I will appreciate, Kuva. All the support that you show David and I on both channels is unbelievable. Genuinely, he might be onside there. He might be onside there.
He's on.
Very close. That's very close.
On. Who's that guy there? Surely he's on.
You heard it from David.
You
heard it from David.
I think he's onside.
See, they're going to
snatch and grab football.
That red card for the penalty. Inconsistent.
Snatch and grab football. If that's onside, that's snatch and grab football.
Still looking at it.
He has to be on. He genuinely has to be on. He has to be on.
Close. It's not even close. What's that linesman seeing?
That's very close. That's very
That linesman
close.
has to go to Specsavers. This is a goal.
But you never know what the lines they draw. You never know what the lines that they fucking draw.
Yeah, well, that's true,
like
actually.
half a yard.
No, he's on. He's on. That's a goal. That has to be a given.
Yeah, it's
You
given.
have to give the striker the
It's
benefit.
given.
Yeah, the striker
It's given. Goal, 2-1 PSG.
Yeah.
40 minutes. Just coming.
God, I mean, imagine rooting for
After
that team
40
with those kind of
minute mark.
goals that you're scraping
40
with.
minutes
Imagine
now.
scraping by with these kind of goals. Like it is.
Shamu was on that quick. Shamu was on that quick. He called it quick.
And that's
It's a bit sad. It's a bit
for the
sad that
assist.
these are the goals they score, I will say. In my opinion, it's a bit sad. Jack, we should swap Stephen B for Gakpo. I completely agree. Paro Miguel Escoberto, our scout around the ground, has just said Marco Reus has just scored a pen against Ajax 1-0 to Dortmund. There you go, Marco Reus. Take over for Holland, my sir. Take over for him. Anybody else? All the Deadwood can pack all their bags. Swivel, that's from Matthew THFC Collins. Lines from Bar looks like it's the pixels from Minecraft from Alexander Milton. Big yourself up, my man. Kuva has a mighty beard. Yeah, Adam, it's a glorious beard. It really is. It's glorious. It's glorious.
Do you know what, Jack? I just love. I love the community that that surrounds these two channels. Everyone is great people. Everyone is great people. It's good to see everyone's so encouraging. Everyone's so nice. You know what I mean? Everyone looks out for everyone. It's unbelievable. So everyone out there that's tuning in, that follows the Irish Hotspur and that as well. You're absolutely all amazing people.
Kuva99, I just saw a good comment from him. He says, I'm a first-time flat capper, mate. I'm a big fan already and already ordered a second one.
Yes.
Kuva, there's no way you're a first-time flat capper. I mean, genuinely, I hate to say it, like, you just look like someone that was, Dave, like, you think like the first person to invent, electricity, the first person to wear a flat cap. You would just think Kuva99 would have been the first person to ever wear a flat cap by the looks of him.
To be honest with you, I had visions of Kuva standing in a bar, in a dark bar, over at a table with a pint with the flat cap on, listening to a bit of rock music.
Yeah.
Maybe now that I think of it, maybe he could be a bit of Mozart or Botticelli or something like that.
David, showing the culture there. Showing the culture. Fantastic. Kuva99, though, I'm honestly shocked you're a first-time flat capper. Genuinely shocked. Like that's it's almost ironic or an oxymoron that you're a first-time flat capper. Genuinely, I would have put my money on you having worn plenty of flat caps in your time. Genuinely.
Honestly, I'm telling you, the flat caps are babe magnets, lad. That's why everyone wants to rock them.
Catman Jess with an interesting comment here saying, I guess I have heard of another. I've seen Sapret Singh on FIFA, but I didn't know he played for Wellington before. Could be a top league player. And one day, Shamu, he's still young and being at Bayern Spy or Bayern 2. Did you know about this guy from, I guess, half maybe Aussie international or Kiwi international and Indian international who plays for the Bayern 2 team?
What's the kid's name?
Yeah, he's at a Bayern 2 team, and they're second at the moment to
Is he not Indian?
St. Pauli. Yeah, Sapret Singh. Yeah, he was at Bayern Munich, and he played even I think 1 or 2 games for the first team, and then he went to Bayern 2, and then he got released, and then he's been picked up by this Bundesliga 2 team, and he seems to be doing quite well there.
Alexander Hilton saying, I have heard of him. Look at these. I mean, honestly, the knowledge of the flat cap army is honestly ridiculous. I mean, they could probably write a thesis when it comes to European football. I'll tell you that. I mean, wouldn't even need, they could write their own, I would tell you. Kuva99 saying, Lorna Shore is my band at the moment. It's a little different to classical, mate. maybe it's a bit louder than music. Maybe it's a bit of a, as maybe Shamu might understand, maybe it's a bit more of a Parkway Drive kind of situation over there. But let me know, Kuva. Let me know the decibels of that music. Let me know the decibels.
Is it that stuff where it sounds like they're banging pots and pans?
And David goes from that beautiful cultural comment to that.
I love banging pan music.
What's that genre like? Is that like heavy metal, or is that what you call that?
I don't know. I'm not sure what Lorna Shore is, but I mean, I'm not sure if Shamu is totally heavy metal, but I do like my actually fair share of metal music, I will say.
Do you know what? I listen to anything.
I like my fair share of metal music, old metal.
I don't like the stuff where they're like screaming down the microphone, banging like pots and pans together, and I don't like that. But I do like everything else. Like anything with a good tune to it, I'll give it a listen. I don't I don't have a set genre, but yeah, the only one I don't really like is the pots and pans music.
It's so funny though. You went from that beautiful cultural comment though to that tape. It really is. That was a lot closer than we think, actually. Genuinely, I think he was on side, but that's a lot closer actually than we think.
I said it was close initially.
Leipzig must be absolutely kicking themselves with the start they made. Have to be absolutely kicking themselves.
Dave, I mean, they missed a penalty. That should be 2 goals.
Geez, there was a couple of other chances they missed.
Yeah, but then you also think then of the other chances, exactly.
No, they must be absolutely kicking themselves. Because let's be honest, PSG hasn't even really got going.
Oh, I mean, this has been snatch and grab. This is my
pass.
Nah,
that's my problem. Snatch and grab. PSG play snatch and grab football. That's what I just find shocking. It's like, imagine having a team that's basically worth £2 billion and then play snatch and grab football.
Jeez, if Forsberg made that pass, it was a 3-on-1 situation.
He's been atrocious, I will say, Forsberg. I would have played Sabotslai if you asked me. I would have played Sabotslai.
Who's he getting on there, Jack? He came from Salzburg, didn't he? He's a very good player, that guy. He's got a good shot on him.
Darius even said, David, he's actually the best striker of a football in Europe.
Yeah,
genuinely, because when it comes to set piece delivery alone, Sabotslai is the best in world football. And Darius, I completely agree. And David, I even showed you that one goal that he scored from a set piece at one point. But Mbappe is in behind here. Mbappe is in behind. That might be a goal, and he doesn't finish.
Mbappe over the top.
Why is he not just putting that low? All he has to do inside the boot,
that's 3 points.
It's 3-1. Oh my God! How is this guy playing for France? This is an easy finish. Easy finish.
He actually misses a lot of these chances if you really watch him, he misses a lot of these, actually. He does. And that's where I actually think, David, the difference between him and Haaland is that difference right there. As Haaland buries that, Mbappe needs 3 or 4 of those in order to bury one.
Yeah, but the thing is, the keeper's expecting him to go across in there all day long. Low and hard, it's a goal. It's 3-1. My God. That's why Haaland is better than Mbappe. Yeah, Mbappe has pace and he looks cool and he hangs around with Neymar and whatever else. But you know what? Haaland does yoga and he puts the ball away in the back of the net. That's why Haaland's the best, because it's all dedicated to football. You know, finishing every single day of the week. Mbappe, honestly, I can't believe he didn't score that. That's shocking. I mean, he's 1-on-1 from the halfway line. He's all
Speaking of
he has from the halfway line to the box to be able to think where he's going to put it. My God.
Yeah, genuinely, you're right, Dave. Speaking of a player that only thinks about football, Dave, I was watching Lewandowski's GQ, like 10 things you can live without. They literally, all of them were related to football. I actually started falling asleep. I generally started falling asleep. I was like, Jesus, this guy, all he thinks about is, like his next game. All he thinks about is his next football match. All he thinks about is his health and all these things. There was no video game control, Dave. There was no, Playboy magazine. There was no... I mean, everything. I think the most interesting thing he had, Dave, was his shave kit.
That's half time.
Like his shave kit.
This is the difference. You have footballers nowadays who do everything. They live like a footballer. And then, unfortunately, you have the other side where they want to be out partying. They want to be out seen dancing with celebrities. And they want to be at the latest nightclub. And you know what I mean? They want to be driving around in their big fancy race cars. And, that's why you have players that are the best. And you have players that have ability but never fulfill it. It's just, it drives me mad. Like Mbappe there, if he just dedicated himself more, rather than, running around after Neymar, flicking each other with towels. You always see that stuff coming out, flirting with each other, running around the training ground, whipping each other with towels, and, just be on the training pitch and dedicate to your finishing. In fact, if he wasn't running around after Neymar, flicking him with towels and pouring water on him when he's on the massage bed or stuff like that, he probably would have finished that.
Someone just put here, Toffee20, thank you for joining us as well. He has the Dele Alli syndrome, Mbappe. I would say he's more talented than Dele Alli ever was, but to a degree, he might. To a degree, he might have a bit of that Dele Alli syndrome. I personally.
Instagram stars.
I mean, I just think Neymar's just been a bad influence on him. I generally think maybe if he didn't have Neymar as because David, right, he went to Neymar when he was 19, 20. When you think about it, when he's very malleable, his brain's supposed to be like a sponge at that age, supposed to be, kind of learning from very experienced players. But the person that he was looking up to was Neymar. And it's just like,
do you know what? I get that, Jack, but it's not an excuse because At the end of the day, it's his career. He has to protect his own career. He has to look after his own career. He has to want to do more. If he wanted to be the very best in the world, he would have just turned around and said, yeah, okay, whatever about Neymar, I'll be pally with him. But this is the way I'm going to live my life. You know what I mean? Like, you hear, it's just, it just drives me insane. Like, I'm not being funny. You're telling me there's not a few party boys in the Dortmund squad, but I bet you Haaland doesn't go out with them.
Yep. Genuinely, yeah. And it's actually what I will say in the case of also Mbappe, Dave, what you find often is he misses a chance and he misses a sitter even. Times when he misses a sitter and you see him laugh on the camera. You see him smile. You see him kind of just shrug it off, you know, in those kind of moments. Like, and if you saw Haaland do that, Dave, I mean, what is he doing? He's probably practically punching himself in the face. You know, he's probably, you know, kicking the ground like he does. You know, he actually just gets into almost a temper tantrum when he misses chances like that.
Nothing worse when you see a player miss an absolute sitter and he's smiling. My God, I feel like punching them. You know, it's nothing worse. It's like, you understand the repercussions of you missing that and you stand there smirking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is. But that's what I'm saying, Dave. I mean, I think you're actually right. Like, it's no excuse that, you know, Neymar to a degree has influenced that from him because he should know better. But that's what I think, like, Neymar's taught him. Genuinely, I think Neymar's just like taught him that sort of, you know, body language and things like that. And again, I don't think it's an excuse, but I think it's more of an explanation, if that makes any sense. It's just an explanation.
You're right. You are right. But at the end of the day, Mbappe has to, you know, he has to be strong mentally. You know what I mean? And that's why Haaland would probably go on and win more golden boots or whatever else it is. You know, maybe Ballon d'Ors in the future than what Mbappe will. Unless he can get away from where he is right now. But maybe he already knows it because he does want to go to Real Madrid. So I don't know.
He does want to go to Real Madrid, and maybe we'll see a whole transformation. And Adam saying this guy was once compared to being Henri. I would say Adam as well in the case of Mbappe compared to Henri. Mbappe needs to improve his finishing quickly because once the pace goes, he's never really had the finishing. Like, the finishing has never been horrible, but it's been decent, you might say, or it's been okay, you know, his entire career. It's not been Haaland level finishing. When you think about Haaland, it's like the guy continues to make himself stronger and bigger and, you know, more lethal from, you know, any sort of finishing position. Where it's like with Mbappe, he still relies just playing on the last man and playing that kind of counter-attacking, snatch and grab football. So when you do think about it, when Mbappe does lose the pace or when he does lose a bit of that athleticism, will he make up for it with something else? I don't think he will. So that's where I actually think, like, the Mbappe versus Haaland debate, it will become more obvious which one is the better one once they reach the 28, 29, 30-year-old kind of ages, like, genuinely, because I think Mbappe will kind of remain to rely on his attributes of, you know, pace and whatnot. And I don't see him having the dedication that, like, Ronaldo does, you know, towards, like, keeping him in shape and keeping his body in shape and whatnot. I see him kind of taking it all for granted, personally, if you ask me. But that's a great comment, Adam. Just want to say. And also, David, the person that did assist that header to Wijnaldum for the second goal was Marquinhos, by the way. So again, Marquinhos, that dude is honestly more clutch than people realize for PSG. He actually saves this team from bad results. Even, again, the Bayern result, he was that guy who had that spectacular finish against Bayern from a set piece position. I do love Marquinhos, I will say.
I love him. I think he's absolutely brilliant. Where did they get him from, Jack?
Marquinhos. Let's find out.
Hey, yeah, live research. Where else would you get it? Absolutely love it. No,
I think he might have come straight from the Brazilian league, Dave. He really might have, which is honestly impressive.
Whoever scouted him, get me that fucking top.
That's right. He was at Roma. He was at Roma, Dave. He was at Roma. That's right. It was very brief, but he was at Roma. I remember that, actually. Genuinely do. I do remember that because that's when I first started watching football, Dave, and he was at Roma. I actually remember. Genuinely. So there you are. And then he moved to PSG in 2013. So he's been at PSG. He's been a PSG boy for a very long time. So there you are.
I love him. Shamu, welcome back. What's your thoughts on the game, lad?
Oh, I thought it's been quite a good game. Towards the end, it's kind of died out a little bit. Like this, it started off at 1,000,000 miles an hour. PSG couldn't really keep up with Leipzig's pace, and then PSG kind of fought their way back into the game. Leipzig got away with missing that penalty. Should have been red card for PSG as well, but all in all, pretty good half. Probably the first 30 minutes good, and then kind of died off a bit.
Yeah.
Just had to go pat the cat, get a drink, and get ready for the second half.
Like
You
it, I
said
like
pat
it,
the
Shmoo.
cat.
Yeah, he's over there.
I wouldn't let Philip Brady near that cat, by the way, Shmoo. I wouldn't let him near it because he... bit of an inside joke of the Harris Army. The truth sets freeze in the building saying Atalanta letting Ronaldo play around the box. I mean, that was from last night, but I mean, the truth sets free. I don't know. I mean, Atalanta are honestly keeping Ole in a job because 2 times in a row, they've somehow butchered, their performance, somehow made it, where they were able to
Nice goal.
get a result out of it. Each time you might say, like, I mean, Atalanta must be just like staring at their own palms, truth sets free. Really, like, what have we done? Genuinely, we've had 2 opportunities to be able to upset this team and somehow they come back. So I would say true sets free. Maybe has something to do with Gasparini, the manager there. But at the same time, like, I mean, it's just Ronaldo each time. Just generally, Ronaldo has just saved them. He's just saved them, if you ask me. Just genuinely saved them. Ganesh Prabhu saying with the live research, you only get that over here, Ganesh. You only get that over here. Genuinely do.
What's happened to David?
Catman Jess, Mbappe's all speed, even in FIFA. LOL, that doesn't last forever. You're right, Jack. Yeah. I mean, but I'd like to be proven wrong when it comes to Mbappe. I would, because it's not like I have a soft spot for the guy, Catman, but he is world class, But if I wanted to be a perfectionist when it came to Mbappe, and I feel like there's already been some distance separated between Mbappe and Haaland. Like, I generally do feel that way. Like, I do feel like Haaland is light years already better than Mbappe. And so that's where it's kind of coming from. It kind of used to be more of a debate before between the two. And now I feel like Haaland's just world class in comparison. He also plays for a worse team, you might even argue as well. And, Haaland plays for a worse team. So, and in a better league. So, genuinely, it's just, I don't even know if it's a debate. But I mean, what do you make of that comment actually that I just made, Shmoo? Is it kind of, do you kind of agree where I'm coming from? It's not even really a debate, actually, I think, between Haaland and Mbappe at the moment.
Yeah, you know my thoughts on Haaland. I rate Haaland over Mbappe. I've always said that I back the strength and the finishing and pace that Haaland has, over Mbappe. Because once, like you said, once Mbappe loses that pace, he's lost most of his kind of tricks and stuff. Is getting away and stuff, and Haaland will always have that strength and that pace. He'll always usually have it kind of similar to an Ibra mold. He'll always have similar pace, but he'll always have that strength to be able to just go and push players off, and he's got that finishing to just, I prefer his finishing. It's just the way you see him kick the ball, and it's just like an assault charge on it. The poor balls,
True Blue Spurs saying it
just ruins them,
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. True Blue Spurs saying, I thought when Shamu said pet the cat, it was a New Zealand slang term, like what David says he's going to the Jacks. True sets free. Cape Cod / Boston is into house. God bless. Don't make a call if you're gonna get wicked hammed. No, I won't make a fool of myself. Believe that. True sets free.
You cracked me up when you said don't let Philip Brady near the cat. Oh my God.
But truth sets free. You don't have to if you don't want to. But just for a bit of fun fact by myself, my grandparents did retire in Cape Cod and Florida, which is just classic East Coast old people. Truth sets free. Just Cape Cod is like the state of Massachusetts, Dave. It's kind of a weird looking state. It's on the coast of the East Coast, and there's a part of it that goes like this. It's like an arm. It kind of bends out like this. And that's what Cape Cod is basically this little arm.
In America?
It's in the U.S., yeah, Cape Cod. It's in the U.S. It's in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is where Boston is. Boston is in the state of Massachusetts, and Cape Cod, like I said, is this little arm part. Boston is like down here. Cape Cod is like all this part up here. So it's actually one of the most beautiful places in the U.S. I would say, genuinely one of the most beautiful places in the U.S. I would say.
Why do I think
But
it's out in the Bahamas?
I mean, because it feels like when you're there in the summer, it looks like the Bahamas. That's the point,
Oh.
Dave. It looks like the Bahamas in the summer. But truth sets free. My grandparents retired in Harwichport. So just a bit of, fun fact. You don't have to say where you are in Cape Cod, genuinely, but I also know people from Sandwich and whatnot. And genuinely, I know most of it. But Harwichport is where my grandparents retired. So truth sets free. Big yourself up, my man.
Big up.
And True Blues Bursting is Cape Cod is where the Jaws movie was situated? ? Maybe it could have also been the New York coast. Like there's also the New York might have been actually. I think where it was actually. I think it was the New York kind of a Long Island kind of area. Maybe is where it was, but I could be wrong. I generally could be wrong. He's from Falmouth. Big yourself up, True Sets Free. I know well of it. Big yourself up. I absolutely love yourself. Honestly, big yourself up, my man. I'm the master golf pro from Cape who goes to Naples in winter. Follow old people when you're a golf pro. True Sets Free. I absolutely love that. Genuinely, that's not even kidding. It's what my grandparents did. My grandpa was a great golfer, and he would golf in Harwichport and go to a place called Cranberry. And then
Was he professional, Jack?
No, he was like a finance guy his whole life. And then once he retired, just settled down. He's from New York, Dave. He was from New York, so he retired in Boston. But he was from
Boston. There's an Irish community there. I love Boston.
Yeah, there's a huge Irish community, Dave. They still speak Gaelic in some parts of the area down there. They really do. But True Sets Free. Yeah, my grandpa retired, even though he's from the Bronx originally. He retired in Cape Cod, and then he would go down to Florida for 3 months of the year. Just the classic East Coast way. Honestly, there's a huge migration every single year, and Truth Sets Free definitely knows about it. But not too much of that. That's probably a conversation between me and Truth Sets Free for later at some point in time. But big yourself up, my man. I feel like Haaland is way more of a team player who will value club success over individual success more than Mbappe. That is a great shout, Catman Jazz. He does seem like more of a team player as well, because we've even seen when Haaland, his own team concedes, and you see the guy like kicking the ground, like ripping up the turf and whatnot. He's more of a captain even in that squad than Mbappe is. I would never put the captain's arm sleeve on Mbappe. I genuinely never would. And that's the other thing. Haaland at one point will probably wear the arm sleeve when you think about it.
Jesse Marsh issuing instructions on the pitch right now. You gotta love it, Jack.
Now, I think he's a fantastic manager, Dave. Just my only problem is I genuinely don't think the guy knows what he's doing in defense. He's just all out attack. He's an all out attack, but he's putting on Amadou Haidara, who I really do rate. I do rate him. I think they have a fantastic depth of squad. But yeah, Dave, honestly, those instructions, see how intense he is. He is brilliant. He is brilliant to watch.
I have to say, them Leipzig players look fired up for this half,
They better be, Dave. Honestly, they deserve to be in front, so they better realize, the mistakes that they made. I'll be right back in a jiffy, though. I am going to go to the Jacks as well, Dave.
No bother, Jack. Oh, Shamu, do you think Leipzig can turn it around second half, lad?
Do you think Leipzig can turn it around?
Yeah.
I'd like to think so, just for the upset. I prefer the underdog, My granddad's always preferred the underdog as well, so, that's why I went for Spurs as well when I started watching football.
Yeah. No, look,
about to start kicking off.
PSG. I have the PSG team running out. Have you already kicked off, Shmoo?
No, they're just running out now. I thought might be a second or two behind you. I'll let you know when it starts. I can start a timer on the phone as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's injured or they just left him behind. But that seems, why would they leave him behind?
Yeah, he must have a knock. So Hadara's
maybe
coming
it's
on.
already through or something.
Amadou Hadara has come on for Willy Orban. Interesting substitution here. Let's see if Leipzig can take
it. That's a centre back.
Huh?
Centre back off. Willy Orban, that's a centre back.
Yeah. Hadara's a midfielder, isn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking that. That's why I was thinking it's a weird one. I thought he was in the field too.
Yeah. When Jack gets back,
I'm just about to kick off now.
I've already kicked off. I'm 45 minutes and 14 seconds now.
Yeah,
It's mad how the game's gone, though.
I'm,
It's mad how the game has gone, lad. You know, with how quick Leipzig started off, and you could always sense when they were starting to not take the chances, you could always sense that PSG, you know, would get back into the game.
definitely.
It's just Leipzig
I
on
didn't catch
the
that last
attack
bit. I
here.
only caught the definitely.
Say that again.
Oh, you might be a bit ahead of me. You might be a bit ahead of me. I'm on 45, 42. Are you a bit ahead?
Yeah, I'm about 8 seconds ahead of you, lad.
Oh, yeah, I can support 10. That's fine.
Leipzig here with a lovely ball down the left-hand side. Can he get it in? Oh, my God. There's two players in the box, and he absolutely wellies it. That's shocking, Cross. That is shocking. You know, you're chasing a game. You cannot afford
47
balls like that.
47-12.
You're on 47
14,
minutes.
15. Oh, no, 46, sorry. 46-20.
I was going to say, geez, I'm 1 minute behind.
I'm on 46-20 from the looks of it, boys.
I'm 8 seconds ahead.
Same, 46-27, 46-28.
Yeah, that's where I am, Shamil. We're right on sync.
So, Jack, Willie O'Brien came off and Hadara came on. What do you think Jesse Marsh is trying to do?
It's moving away from the back three then.
4-3-2-1, 4-3-3.
Let me take a look at it. It looks like that maybe Nordi, Nodi Mukiele moves. I think maybe they kept the three in the back shape, Dave. Nodi Mukiele has moved to the center back position, and Konrad Leimer, who was originally in midfield, has moved to the right wing back position by the looks of it.
So weird.
Conrad Leimer. What do you make of Conrad Leimer, Jacko?
He's an absolute workhorse. Absolute workhorse.
Oh, that's shocking. Oh, my God.
Ooh.
I mean, from a throw in, he's straight in behind me.
Oh,
You can't even
God. There you go.
Doesn't even chase after it as well. Doesn't even chase after it, Dave. Like, that's also the attitude again. You would see Brian Hill, Dave. Brian Hill has a touch like that, right? Brian Hill would have a touch like that, runs right after it, tries to win it back. You see him just leave it behind and just throw his hands in the air. And like, it's just.
He thinks he's made it already. That's the problem. He already thinks he's Mr. Hollywood, you know?
I mean, whatever beauty products he puts on, honestly, really do work because he does look beautiful, honestly.
Oh, great pass. He's way on. He's way on. What a pass by Neymar. Oh, my God. How's he not finished that? That's shocking, Di Maria.
No look as well. That's the talent of Neymar. That is the talent of Neymar.
That's shocking. Is he off?
Might have been off.
Oh, yeah, he is off. He's just off.
But that was a no look as well. That's what I mean with Neymar. Sometimes the dude is ridiculous. He does do no look here.
It was a beautiful pass, to be fair. I know he's offside, but Jesus Christ, Di Maria should be finishing that.
No, he absolutely should be. But
Jack,
Konrad Leimer, Dave, just to answer your question, an absolute workhorse, an absolute industrial player. In terms of technical quality, decent, like actually very good, but maybe not world class, technical ability, but he makes up for it with, a lot of like energy and pace and also strength and ability and whatnot. And that's what I would say with Konrad Leimer.
Industrious.
Very industrious. And he also can play a variety of positions, which kind of allows him to always make it into the team. That's why he's kind of a manager's favorite, if you might say.
Yeah.
I mean, look how he also wins that ball over Mendes goes down before he's even touched. Jesus.
Who's this now? Who's Kimpembe hurt now?
He probably should be off the pitch, Kimpembe.
Neymar doing his shithouser. He's probably twisting his ear or something there. What happened here? Oh, he's rolling around.
Mukiele slips.
I mean, Jack, I don't know what he's rolling around for this. I mean, he didn't even touch him. Maybe he rolled his ankle and that's what caused him to slip, maybe, but he wasn't touched.
Yeah.
I think it might have been that he rolled his ankle.
Sore one, them,
Maybe
from Mukiele, from what I've ever seen, David, he's not really one to go down easy, so it might be actually generally that he rolled his ankle or something.
Very sore when that happens,
That's actually, it's very unfortunate. He's a very key player for Leipzig as well. Very, very key player. He's
Jersey
actually
very smart.
Noti Mukiele. He's an interesting player because he can play as a center back and he can play as a right wing back. He's I don't know. He's a very fascinating player. I will say, actually, genuinely
He
is
is
like.
hurting. He is hurting. Look at him.
I think it is a rolled ankle, Dave. I
Yeah,
think it is a rolled
must have
ankle.
rolled his ankle.
He's hurting.
Yeah, it is. Look,
He may come
can't
back
walk.
on, but
Yeah,
he ain't going to
it's an
last. You
ankle.
know that. He may come back on. He's not going to
No.
last.
I mean, he's at half strength by the looks of
Might
it.
just make it worse.
They're so sore, you know. They're very hard to run on when you do that.
Well, especially he doesn't really rely. I mean, he has excellent athletic traits of being very quick and strong, Dave, but he does use that to his advantage at times. So that will also then hurt him. All it needs, though, is a bit of Andre Silva, Christopher Nkunku, little combination, and then this game can be flipped on its head. I mean, they also need to do something because those two have blown chances themselves. Andre Silva missed a penalty. Christopher Nkunku had a moment.
Christ, how is he not making that pass? That's infuriating. That's infuriating. If I was a striker, I would absolutely string him up.
There's the substitute, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Leipzig will get chances. Pass it. Oh, my God. Pass it the other side. That's brain-dead football. The pass was already took too long. Give it to the guy on the other side.
Two opportunities for Amadou Haidara. That dude just subbed on as well. He just subbed on.
That's what he needed to do.
Oh, my God. Someone in the stands is getting a souvenir. Mbappe even. Oh, my God. That's
Mbappe. My God.
Oh, my
That's
Jesus, everybody. I mean, again, Mbappe. Like, David Harris finishing school at Mbappe, I would just say, it's not too expensive. You're already being paid hundreds of millions of pounds a week practically at this rate. Mbappe might as well just invest in the Harris Army finishing school when you think about that.
That's shocking.
Jack, how does the legend Irish Hotspur not know South Boston? It's more Irish than Dublin. I think you mean Charleston as well. Truth Sets Free. It's where. Dave, do you ever see the movie The Town?
Jack, one of my favorite ever movies. Do you know what? I've been sitting
here. That's what he's talking about. That area specifically is the very Irish area. I've been sitting here the
last 15 minutes trying to think of the name of that movie.
Yeah, with why am I?
It's a great movie. It's unbelievable.
Why am I forgetting?
Whitey Bulger, is he from around there?
Whitey Bulger is from Charleston. Yes.
Yeah, Whitey Bulger. No, I know a lot about Boston. They have that. There's a good song as well, actually. Good kind of like Boston Irish song. It's good. I'm trying to think of the name of it too.
Figured out the camera, Lazy. That's all it is. Figured out the camera. Thanks to you, brother. Thank you very much, my man. Thank you very much.
Dropkick Murphys. That's the one.
I've seen them live twice.
But yeah, Truth Sets Free. I mean, my dad, has traveled a lot, and when he would go to Boston, he still says in Charleston area you could still see Gaelic, written around in graffiti in that area. And maybe you're right. It's actually, I would say it's probably, I wouldn't say it's more Irish than any other part, maybe other than Dublin. Maybe it's more Irish than Dublin. Maybe is the point. But apart from that, I wouldn't.
Nowadays it is. Nowadays,
I would say probably doesn't get more Irish than Kildare, probably, or any other county. I would say that definitely doesn't.
We have a lot of farms, lad. We have a lot of farms. Do you know I'm allergic to horses, and I live in the horse racing county of Ireland?
Yeah, I did know that actually, Dave. I think you said that once or twice as a bit of a fun fact, but maybe that's what he's just comparing it to. If you had to compare Charleston, Dave, versus Dublin, maybe he's saying, it's a bit even more Irish. Which maybe he's not wrong. I don't want to speak to that though.
Conor McGregor went there before one of his UFC fights, didn't he, to Boston to meet all the Irish fans and that living there.
Everywhere my best friends spoke Gaelic. Wow, Truth Sets Free. He must be an Irishman himself. He's probably more Irish than I am. And
yeah, there has to be Irish in him because he loves Roy Keane. He absolutely loves him.
There you go, Truth Sets Free. Good man there. Good man. Truth Sets Free says also, and everyone boxes in Southie by the age of 8. There you go. That's what it is. That's the name. It's Southie. It's not even Charleston. It's Southie. That's what they call it. Not even Charleston.
That's another shocking ball from Leipzig. Your man's hanging over on the left-hand side waiting for it. And he balloons it straight into Donnarumma.
Catman just Jeremy Renner. There you go. There it is. I did know it was Jeremy Renner. But I was trying to remember, some other ones in it. And I'm pretty sure it's Blake Lively is also in it as well.
Jesus Christ.
How am I forgetting this one? Now I'm forgetting Ryan Reynolds' wife. Ryan Reynolds' wife. Wow, Donnarumma. I mean, Jesus. Talk about a bad touch as a keeper.
PSG are there
show
for
him
the
the way
taking.
room, son. Show him the way room. Oh, crack it. Crack it. Oh, my God. Shoot. When you shoot.
Oh, Leipzig could have done something with that there. Oh, referee! He just got body checked there. I mean, Wijnaldum wasn't even going for the ball there. I had to say that. That actually could be looking at. That actually should be looking at. I don't even know why. He didn't even go for the ball there, if you ask me. Rocky saying, hi, legends. Big yourselves up, guys. Big yourself up, Rocky. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. Don't worry about it. I mean, thank you very much, though. Appreciate that. You're a legend yourself, Rocky. And also, hopefully, you're training well, maybe with the boxing gloves on, maybe boxing Southie style, as Truth Sets Free been saying. Big yourself up, Rocky.
I'd like to see Schlobberstein come off soon. He's good. I rate that guy.
Oh, great play.
Jamu is the best. I owe him a debt of gratitude because of my attitude that first day. True Sets Free. I mean, genuinely, you're a huge fan of the channel, and we understand you have fantastic things to say. I think it was just lost in communication between you two. I really think it was. But, you know, Shamu is on his own as a moderator, and he wants to just see everybody's comments be put on screen and whatnot. It's just, you know, I think you guys genuinely figured it out. But, Shamu, anything to say to True Sets Free, maybe?
Give him a hug.
No, I think it was just more the your comments are all good and stuff. It's just when you do like 30 or 40 or so, it just kind of dulls out everyone else's input and stuff, you know. And we try and get everyone else's input from the show into the stream and stuff. And then kind of if there's super chat, it might overlay. Then you might accidentally skip that, and we don't want to miss all those and stuff.
There you go.
So
I mean, True Sets Free though,
like
Shamu said though, you have fantastic things to say, and you know, don't hesitate to say them. It's just, yeah, I think it was just that one night. We just wanted everybody else's comments to also be, you know, available to look at. But again, True Sets Free, feel free to, again, you know, the way you've been going about it, continue to do it, my friend. Continue to do it. I think, you know, Shamu though, he just has a job. You know, he has so much to worry about as a moderator. So I think it's just, you know, conflict of interest between the two of you. And I think it's all been worked out. But big yourself up. True Sets Free. Big yourself up. Close to Hyannis. Is Falmouth close to Hyannis? I actually didn't know that. If it's close to Hyannis, maybe I'm thinking of a different area then. But Hyannis, of course, is where most of us would fly into if we wanted to make an easier route into Cape Cod. So Hyannis, I obviously know quite well, though.
Bosley is on.
He needs to come on, if you ask me. I think he better come on for Forsberg. Thank you. Thank God, because Forsberg has been woeful.
And I think he's got Yusuf Poulsen. Yusuf Poulsen looks like he's ready to come on.
Maybe he's coming on for Andre Silva.
Yeah. Jesus, Jack. Huh? You're all over this Leipzig team, lad. You must have a big poster of Jesse Marsh in your bedroom or something.
I don't like Jesse Marsh, if you probably heard, Dave. I actually had him as one of the managers, I think, to get sacked. You know, I genuinely did. I mean, I actually do like Jesse Marsh, Dave. It's just my problem with Jesse Marsh is the guy actually genuinely does not know how to defend. Like, he genuinely does not know defensive football. The Truth Sets Free, though, says, Southie, my best friends are from Southie, more Irish than Ireland, where Dana White is from. Sorry, boys, to take up the chat. I shut up now. No, don't worry about it, Truth Sets Free. Really don't worry about it. Where Whitey Bulger was from, Irish Mafia. Yeah, genuinely. I mean, honestly, fantastic job by Johnny Depp in that one. Honestly, unbelievable movie as well. By Johnny Depp.
He's a smart cookie, so he was playing, ratting on his rivals, and he was the only one left. He's smart.
Yeah, he is. That was an unbelievable movie by Johnny Depp, I will say.
Shabazz free kick. Jeez, that's a good free kick. Ooh. I tell you, what a beautiful delivery from the angle it was at.
I've never seen him put in a bad ball, Dave. Like, genuinely. Like, you remember also, though, Dave, like, I showed you that highlight reel of one of those free kicks that he sent. The thing floated backspin like that, Dave. Like, genuinely. Remember that free kick I showed you that one time?
Yeah.
That he hit into the net? Like,
yeah.
It's not like he's Puskas or anything, Dave, but like, like Puskas is generally one of the greatest players of all time. And that's what I think with Szoboszlai, like genuinely, it's like something over in Hungary. Sometimes they produce players that are just like you've never seen before. kind of players. That's what Szoboszlai is kind of a bit like Puskás, Dave, like a player that you couldn't even like say like there is no other Puskás, there is no other Szoboszlai, in my opinion. I mean, maybe Eriksson has a similar set piece delivery, but I would say and I hate to say this to Eriksson, like generally Szoboszlai is that much better at set pieces. Like I've never seen the guy put a bad ball in my entire life, genuinely. Like, and I watched him at RB Salzburg too, Dave. And maybe that's why Jesse Marsch wanted him as well, because he coached him at RB Salzburg as well. And like when he played against Bayern, Szoboszlai, every time there was a corner kick to RB Salzburg, I was genuinely terrified because of that set piece delivery. You would just like the way it would just curl in was just like a missile, like every time. It's just like all you had to do is just put a bit of your hair follicle on it and it would go in, the way that guy does it. Honestly, he's set piece delivery. I personally think, hot take here, Szoboszlai, best in the world.
Do you reckon he go to the very top of the game, Jack?
Yes. I think he'll play for Real Madrid one day.
Do you think
play for Real Madrid or for a top Premier League side? I think he should go to like La Liga. I think in La Liga, he would absolutely tear it apart. If he doesn't want to go to Bayern, of course. But I think he's going to be one of the best players in the world at a certain stage.
Interesting.
He can play a variety of positions. He can. It's just like when you see someone like that, Dave, that just has that sort of technical ability. That's a yellow card from Nuno Mendes. You're absolutely right, ref.
I tell you, if PSG keep knocking around the back like they do, they will get caught,
I think they will. And also, Dave, sometimes the yellow cards that they receive sometimes are just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
La convocatoria a nada más Lionel Scaloni para la Argentina y en esa lista que es muy prolongada.
I didn't know you spoke Spanish, David.
No, I don't. It's just honestly the one I was using has gone down. I'm on 61 minutes 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, we're like a minute.
I unfortunately can't pause mine, David. So I wish I could.
What are you on?
Just a moment. I'm on 62:30.
I can pause mine. We're on.
Oh no! Don't pause it, Shmuel. I'll find one that's more up to date.
But yeah, I mean, Shamu, have you ever seen? Streams. Do you know anything about Szoboszlai, Shamu? I mean, is he maybe someone that you think could reach the top levels? I genuinely think so.
Yeah, definitely. He's epic. Every time I watch him play, he's epic, and he always scores these outside the box goals, and they're just like the whip he gets on the ball is unreal. Like you were saying, he's top quality. He's just one of those Hungarian like prospects that have come through. Similar to Romania, they've got like Hadji and like his sons coming through, and he's kind of really good. Similar to those kind of nations around there where they get like one or two, and they're just nuts. And he's one of them, I think. Like the talent generation, similar to Modric, I guess. He's just that generational talent. Like Croatia's not going to see another Luka Modric for a while.
Jack, check Instagram later. Gonna send you my new Tottenham team in career mode. Whoa, I'll be happy to approve it, Kois. Thank you very much, Kois. Also, Kois, thank you for joining us, mate. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you, Elias. Good to see you, my mate. And also,
how's Mbappe not scored there again? I'm on 63-45.
Oh yeah,
I must have missed the chance because I was looking at the chat, Dave. But Kois, thank you for joining us. You're an absolute legend, my mate. You're an absolute legend. Honestly, Dave, he's a huge fan of both channels. He really is. So big yourself up as well. And, I'd be happy to take a look at it after the stream, my mate, because David and I will be playing some FIFA later, hopefully, which you can join and, join in the chat us for. And also maybe at some point, even play me in FIFA when I find the time, Kois. But big yourself up, mate. Really do appreciate all the love and support. Really do appreciate it.
We still actually owe Catman Jess a game, believe it or not. Actually, we do.
I think we do, Dave. We certainly owe them a game, but I will say, everybody, Angelino! I would say, Catman, Jess, and everybody else that enjoys a bit of FIFA, I think we need to create an Irish Hotspur Pro Clubs team.
Yeah.
We need to create an Irish Hotspur Pro Clubs team, a full 11 of Irish Hotspur Pro Clubs, the Harris Army Pro Clubs team. no matter how bad we are, no matter how good we are, it doesn't matter. It's all
I
about
might
the
have to
Irish
get an
Hotspur.
Xbox then.
You might. You will
You
have
have
to.
to,
And look,
certainly.
if we're bad, we're just gonna
I'll
have
show
to
you. I'll
train.
show you my PlayStation. Have a look at my justice on my PlayStation.
You'll have to get an Xbox. You have to get the Xbox. Irish Hotspur Pro Clubs team. It sounds like a good deal.
Irish Hotspur Pro Clubs team sounds fantastic.
Oh, it will be.
Shmoo, get an Xbox for Christmas, lad.
Yeah, I could do, but I don't usually play. Like, I don't play PlayStation that often. After like 2 hours,
Paul Markey saying we are Tottenham TV. We are Tottenham TV have a report that Kessie is very close to an 8.5 million January move to Spurs.
Well, I think
Paul Markey, Paul Markey, this is his favorite player, Dave. This is like one of his favorite players in Serie A. This guy is clearly really rates him. He actually rates him as one of the best center mids in all of Europe, one of the best holding midfielders in all of Europe. This guy, I mean, some of the comments that he was giving, Dave, over the scout report, I could tell the guy absolutely loves the player, and he should, because he is a fantastic player, Franck Kessié. But
well, I know.
If he's moving in January, I thought it would be like 20 million pounds, Dave, because his value is originally like 49 million pounds. But I guess if they want to make any sort of profit at all, AC Milan, they're going to have to sell him in January, because then he goes on a free in the summer. So if he's moving in January, I mean, holy shit, Dave! Like, genuinely, holy shit.
I know his agent and Tottenham have been in talks, and that there was a deal very close to move for free in the summer. But once you have that deal in place, then you can go to AC Milan and say, well, look, we're getting him for free in the summer, but you know what I mean? We want him in January, so what's the fee? 8.5, I think, look, probably is a bit low, to be fair, but it's just good, smart business by Paratici. He's being proactive. He's one of the best in the game. He's one of the best in the game at getting in free transfers.
If it isn't the Don, Dave, if it isn't the Don making moves again.
No, I can't stop you. You're not allowed to call him a Don, lad.
I mean, if he gets an 8.5 million move, Dave, in January, I mean, how can you not call him a Don? I hate to say it. I mean, genuinely, after that, like, you can't not. I think I even, again, on Twitter today, everybody, someone would say, the last window that we had under Steve Hitchin, where we got Joe Rodon, Gareth Bale, Carlos Vinicius, all these other players and whatnot. Like, genuinely, we got some good ones with Højbjerg and Reguilon, but you might have thought we probably paid a bit, still, like, kind of didn't really get a bargain on some of those players. We didn't really necessarily get a bargain on some of those players. People were rating David, if I remember, I think the post was, some people were calling that window a 9 out of 10. That window, genuinely, they were saying we had a great window. And now, the first Paratici window, we're giving it a 3 out of 10. We're giving it a 2 out of 10, and all this stuff. And I don't know, David, I think it's just jealousy. If you ask me, Dave, I think it's just jealousy. They're just jealous of what the Don is capable of. They're just jealous of what he's thinking about. They're just jealous of, the moves that he's capable of. Genuinely. That's my belief, Dave.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I don't even know why it's a debate. Like, if you want to call him Don, Godfather, Jesus, God Paratici, you know what I mean? By all means, go ahead. If you want to call him, Flop Paratici or whatever, go ahead. I couldn't care less. I don't even understand why you can't call him Don, or why it's even a debate. You know what I mean? Just put a label on him, whatever you want to, whatever floats your boat.
I think just to say, though, that he's had bad windows, though, is just kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. Generally, he's only had one window to work with as well. It's kind of funny to see Szoboszlai, Dave. He even rates his free kick ability and his set piece ability so much that when Angelino came to take it, when Angelino came over to take it, he actually laughed at him. It seemed like
he was scored from the fucking corner kick as well, out swinging.
Szoboszlai, I've just never seen a guy hit a ball the way that he does. I don't know what he does, Dave. He must have some remote control in his boot or something like that. Maybe just generally the guy's ridiculous, but 8.5 million for him would be absolutely insane, Paul Markey. And I know you'd be all over it. I'm getting the feeling that either Levy's sell before buy policy has been ditched, or we've already been lined up for some sales in January. That's a great way to put it, actually, COVID-99. Maybe potentially a lot of these kind of like moves that we're going for in the summer have just kind of been kind of continued and maybe kind of reinvested in, or kind of re-looking at, or whatever the word is, since January sort of is coming up. maybe that's what's kind of happening right now, Kuva. I would say personally that might be what's happening, and also it's potentially the case that Levy might be under a lot of pressure. He might be under a lot of pressure to to do the right thing. He might be under a lot of pressure to invest. He might be under a lot of pressure to invest in the squad all of a sudden. Genuinely, I think there is a lot of pressure on his head, so he's going to have to maybe be, let's say, very unlevy like. You might say, Kuva, be very unlevy like, kind of break that that kind of stereotype. Paratici is not a flap, Adam. Thank you very much. So there you go. But I mean, Adam, I hate to say it, there are a lot of people that said Paratici out. There are a lot of people that said Paratici out. So, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Yeah, I just feel like the guy's been disrespected.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just making enemies unnecessarily, to be honest with you. I think it's just,
Imagine slating a guy that's been at the club less than 6 months as well.
It's just creating a problem that doesn't need to be created. It's just creating an enemy that doesn't need to be created.
Oh, Sabatsly! Oh, and just as we braided him so much, the best striker of the ball, he misses an absolute sitter.
Oh,
the boy with sleeves.
That's shocking.
That is a beautiful ball put in.
He's got to be scoring that. It's got to be minimum on target. Minimum on target.
They could have been 6-1. I mean, genuinely, look at some of these chances that Leipzig have created. They could be 6-1 up. They could have been. Really could have been. Genuinely, like huge chances.
He should be absolutely. I agree with Shamu. Minimum, at least on target. That's shocking.
Especially if you're a professional footballer, fucking hell.
Yeah.
It'd be like if a gigolo was getting paid 200 grand and he couldn't even get a hard on.
What's another good ball over top? Marquinhos is so good. He's so calm.
Oh, it's a good touch for him. Is Danny Olmo still playing at Leipzig? Why is he not on?
I think he might be injured. I have this feeling he might be injured.
Good player, that guy.
Danny Olmo is a great player. What's actually very funny, Dave, is Xavi, who's been rumored with the Barcelona job, has said he wants Haaland, Danny Olmo, Jules Koundé, Pogba, and I believe a few others. And it's kind of like, David, might as well just ask for, a partridge in a pear tree after that. When you think about it, genuinely, like, it's like he doesn't even acknowledge that, Barcelona are, in heavy debt. It's like, Dave, yeah, pretty sure every manager wants, Haaland and Pogba and Jules Koundé, it's like Xavi thinks he's playing FIFA, honestly, the way that he's asked for, some of these transfers. That's what he said he needs in order to take the job. And it's just like the guy's been managing a guitar.
Xavi's at weren't letting him go.
I think that's the point, is like, I think Xavi was saying in order for him to come into the job, that's what he must be promised, is like big name players. And it's like, I mean, genuinely, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, he's asking for a Christmas list that even, his own mother probably would tell him, listen, Xavi, you're going to have to think a bit lower.
Yeah. I don't know what planet he's on.
I mean, I'm not even kidding, David. Danny Olmo, the reason that's why I brought it up, Danny Olmo was the only player that, seemed like the lowest expectation player.
Ooh.
Like Danny Olmo was the most realistic one, but even that wasn't very realistic.
Is that him? I'm pretty sure it was him.
Oh.
Danny Olmo's on. There you go.
Maybe he is an injury. I guess he just hasn't been played very much by Jesse Marsh.
Maybe I've got G Marsh on the headphones here, just saying, better put Danny Olmo on.
I will say with how much Emil Forsberg has been played, under Jesse Marsh, I am quite confused because he does have Szoboszlai and Danny Olmo to play instead. I like Emil Forsberg, but I would say I don't rate him more than Danny Olmo or Szoboszlai personally.
No.
It does show that Leipzig have a lot of quality, a lot of technical players on their team.
Yeah, they do, to be fair. I was disappointed with Forsberg tonight. He had a very good Euros.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, though, Dave. Like, I think he's a good player, and he has his moments of being a fantastic player and a fantastic ability. But like I said, you compare him to Danny Olmo, Szoboszlai, Christopher Nkunku as well, Dave. Like, genuinely, I don't even know how he gets a starting position, if you ask me.
That's not a foul. It's not netball.
I think it's his first appearance since injury. I think you were right, Jack. Okay, comment, Jack. So I'm not crazy. I did think he was injured, so I'm not crazy. So there we are.
Okay.
Thank you, Catman Jess. Honestly, the scout reports and the knowledge of the Flat Cap Army, Dave, is honestly unbelievable. The knowledge of the Flat Cap Army is unbelievable. Like I said, Dave, they could write a thesis on European football.
No, they could. It is unbelievable, to be fair. Leipzig, if they, I have a feeling, they need to take their next chance. If they don't, I think they'll end up losing this game.
Matthew Collins saying PSG look boring. This is what I'm kind of saying. This is what I'm saying, Matthew Collins. Like, genuinely, how could you be a team that's worth, what, £2 billion, €2 billion, whatever it is at this rate, and genuinely be this much of a sit-back, snatch and grab team? And also, as well, like, the way they've gotten this result has been snatch and grab. Like, I can't express that enough. Like, how many chances have they genuinely created? Yes, they've created clear-cut chances with Mbappe, but you're just at that moment, you are relying on the pace of Mbappe. You're relying on the positioning of Mbappe. Like, have they really played good football tonight, Matthew? Like, genuinely, they haven't. They haven't played any sort of good football. They haven't had any sort of good attacking patterns. It's just RB Leipzig that continue to just kind of fail and, like, just finishing their chances. They create fantastic chances, RB Leipzig, but they just don't finish them. That's the problem. They just don't finish them. But yeah, this is my thing though with PSG. This is why I'm worried. It's like they continue to get by though with these sort of results, which kind of makes me think maybe they'll get further. And that's got to be.
I think they'll be found out in the last 16 though.
Yeah, but Dave, though, like maybe they won't, because if they make it through, then they'll kind of like get themselves together like they always have. And then I don't know. It's just they're not ever a good team to watch. Like, that's what's horrible is with PSG. They're just not actually a good team to ever watch.
Yeah.
But they do create good games. Like, whoever plays them always creates a good game. Even Club Brugge, Dave, they gave them a fantastic game. Club Brugge.
How are they getting on tonight?
Say that again?
How are they getting on tonight?
I'm not sure, Dave. I'm going to need my flat cap scouts around the ground, to answer that question. Paro Miguel Escobardo around the ground. Anybody else in the around the ground? How's Club Brugge playing tonight? Because Charles de Ketelaere I would like to see score a goal. Inter is 3-0 up. Everybody seems to be attached to the Inter Sheriff game.
What's the score? What?
Oh, Nkunku. Oh, that would have been beautiful, but that was not necessary.
Let's get some around
3-1 Man City from Mac around the ground. Everybody's so attached to the Inter Sheriff game for some reason.
Yeah, City are 3-1 up. PSG obviously are winning. Porto Milan 0-0. Liverpool are 2 up.
2-0 up, yeah.
Yeah, Felipe sent off on 30 something minutes.
Oh, Conrad Leimer, that's got to be a better ball, my man.
Dortmund and Ajax on 1-1 with Hummels sent off after 29 minutes.
Hummels sent off. Holy crap.
Yeah. Lisbon are up 4-0 at beating Besiktas. Real Madrid only bet Shakhtar 2-1 earlier. And Inter Milan are 3-0 up. Brozovic, Skriniar, and Alexis Sanchez. Jeez, Munich smacked Benfica yesterday, 5-2.
Yeah, it was a pretty great game to watch, I will say.
Jesus. They're going to win this hands down again this year.
This is my thing, though, Dave, with Bayern is like, I thought that was the case last season, but PSG again, snatch and grab them. They snatch and grab them. It was the same case last season, but they snatch and grab them. I would argue, though, like, at least in Bayern's case this season, it seems like they don't really care about conceding, Dave. It's like they're all about just outscoring their opposition just by like ridiculous amounts, you know, like just again, it's just domination football. You know, it's just like even if we're 1-0 down, we're still dominating you. Even if we go 2-0 down, we're still going to dominate you, you know, and so that's where I think maybe
I like
they
that
will
kid
probably win it. That's where they will probably win it, but they could get caught out where maybe someone puts in a fantastic defensive performance or something like that, you know?
Corner.
But do you see PSG putting a fantastic defensive performance against Bayern? Maybe not. You know, maybe not, I would say. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say, but that's what I said. Pochettino, Dave, he put in a fantastic shift and he got a good result against Bayern. He got a good result, you know, a result I don't think they deserved, but a good result, you know. It was horrible to watch, like a team, you know, that was a team like that from last season at PSG be able to pull a result like that against Bayern, considering that, again, PSG are like a £2 billion team. But that's all I will say, Dave, is Bayern play attractive football. Like if anybody wants attractive football, you watch Bayern. That's the point. It's just they try to dominate their opponent. They try to take on their opponent. They try to basically, I mean, lack of a better term, David, basically just bully their opponent, you know, like, you know, just show them like who's boss, you know, at the end of the day. And like sometimes that comes to your detriment, especially when it comes to knockout football, you know, so you can't always play like that.
Yeah.
So that's maybe that's just me being devil's advocate. I want them to win it, Dave, but that's my detriment to them is like sometimes they play such attractive football that sometimes it comes to their own detriment.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It's a good point. Look, for me, I think Bayern Munich will win it, but I think Liverpool also have a very good chance.
Liverpool, but Dave, that's I mean, again, I think Darius was able to shout me out on Twitter though for that when I did my Premier League predictions. I did go for Chelsea and Liverpool as the 2 title contenders in the Premier League this season, and will say, Dave, I do feel quite smart for it. I do feel quite smart for it because it was weird though, Dave. I don't feel like there were a lot of people that really rated Liverpool to do well this season. I didn't really know. Why did he cut it back? Why did he cut it back?
Jurgen Klopp's done a great job with them this year. As much as it kills me to say, you know, it's very easy for that team to need reinvigorating new signings. You know, but a lot of people thought it was coming to an end, and whatever he's done this season, he's got them all fighting again, kind of like, you know, like they did the year they won the title. So
I think you're probably right, Dave. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool is just, David, it pains me as well. I don't want to rate them, but just Jurgen Klopp is that manager. He really is. Yeah. True Blue Spurs and Bryce saying, I was driving, so couldn't message, but Jack, I'm pretty sure Forsberg is captain, hence why he always starts now that Sabitzer is gone. That's thank you for that scout report there, True Blue Spurs. Again, Dave, like I always said, the knowledge of the Flat Cap Army is honestly unbelievable. I didn't know that.
It is actually incredible to see how, you know, you're never stuck. You know, you say, you say something, and then straight away, you know, someone's in there with the answer. It's unbelievable.
And sometimes, like, yeah, David, we'll have 20 people in the chat even only, and you're just generally just like, okay, like it's like 20 geniuses in the chat. Like you're just like, okay, you know, like how do I get an answer? Like, you know, like, you know, why is it that the 3 in the back doesn't work for X team? Someone will come in with an answer. You know, why is it that this player always plays? Someone will come in with an answer. It is just unbelievable. Like it is. And True Blue Spurs, big yourself up. Honestly, I didn't know that. Kind of makes sense. He's been at the club a very, very long time. Almost at, I wouldn't say testimonial stage, but probably maybe halfway there, if not close to it, if I'm not mistaken. So that probably explains it. He's a bit more of a senior player in the squad. They have a very young team, Leipzig, so that would kind of make sense. And also, if I'm not mistaken, actually, Forsberg has been with them since kind of the beginning, like when even Ralph Hasenhüttl was there. I think when Ralph Hasenhüttl was there, he was even, you know, Forsberg was still on the side. So that actually makes complete sense, actually, True Blue Spurs. But I just feel like, there are a lot of players that are sitting on the bench that are probably way better than them. So that's maybe, the point I was making. But True Blue Spurs, I mean, that explains everything. That explains everything, my man. That was an unbelievable ball, actually, pinged by Danny Olmo there.
Ooh. PSG could be in behind here.
Hakimi looking for a good
defending
cut up by Benjamin Henrichs.
Also, some news today.
De Ketelaere was brilliant.
What do you think the score was?
Just a second. I'm getting a scout report from around the ground. I'm just getting a scout report from around the ground, everybody. From Power Miguel Escoberto saying De Ketelaere was brilliant, but City have more firepower. It's good to hear, though. I will say, everybody, Charles De Ketelaere, the Belgian international. Remember the name. The dude is honestly filthy to watch, Dave. I'm not even kidding. Like, he plays like Johan Cruyff, the guy. He genuinely is just, like, ridiculous. He is ridiculous.
They have that goalkeeper, Van der Voort, in goals as well.
No, they do Mignolet.
Oh, Mignolet. So that's Genk then that has Van der Voort.
Yeah, I believe so, maybe.
Do they have Torsvet? Do you know the goalkeeper, Eric? They used to play for us. His son plays for one of the teams in Belgium. Is it them?
I'm not sure, actually, Dave. I'm not sure of actually the Jupiler League keepers. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Club Brugge, unfortunately, used Simo Mignolet.
Absolute donkey. Why couldn't Liverpool keep him? He used to make my life fantastic, because Liverpool fans, they used to go mad at him and he used to cost them games. Why couldn't they keep him?
I agree, actually. 1-2 Ajax at Dortmund. No, Ajax are leading, apparently. Or Ajax in lead?
I'll check now. I'll tell you now. Is that not Szoboszlai standing over? Is that Szoboszlai standing over? Why is Szoboszlai not standing over that free kick? Is that not why he's
Christopher and Cuckoo wants it, apparently. I think Christopher and Cuckoo feels that much on fire, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's honestly scoring for fun at this rate.
Sebastian Haller for Ajax makes it 2-1.
The top goal scorer of the Champions League, everybody. The top goal scorer of the Champions League.
Sheriff have pulled a late goal back against Inter, but it's more or less over. 90 plus 2 minutes.
Coys is asking, are you guys streaming later on
going
Twitch?
On at the refs here.
Something is happening, yeah. But Coys, I would say yes. I would say yes because I want to and I genuinely need to. The missus is having a friend over.
Food. We have to have food today first, and then we'll do it.
Yeah, we probably do have to have food first. Why, Dave? What do you mean?
Well, we have to have dinner, lad. So after this,
we'll
have dinner, and then we'll stream.
But yes, Coys, I'm pretty sure we will be streaming tonight. We'll probably do a bit of co-op seasons, my man.
Yeah. I look forward to it. It's been a while, It's been a while. It's just been haven't had the time to get to it. I do enjoy playing the FIFA and chilling out, especially when we're as good as we are, Jacko.
Oh, I mean, we were just on fire, Dave. We really were. At least we were playing Jesse Marsh football out there, Dave. We really were.
Oh, unbelievable football, lad. Just all out attack, lad.
Eric Torsvet's son plays for Genk.
He's
going to VAR. He's going to VAR.
Christian Torsvet.
We're going to VAR here.
For a penalty.
Yeah, he's having a look.
Could be penalty to LEIPZIG.
Message me when you're starting. I will do so, Coys. Will do so. Thank you for letting me know as well that you're interested in that. Appreciate penalty that, kick. My man.
80th minute.
Please run the PSG party.
Ooh.
He's gone to have a look at the monitor.
I think it's for the Nkuku thing right there.
He's gone to have a look at the monitor.
He's given him like a Dolph Ziggler Rough Rider.
Oh, again, this is Kimpembe, though. Like, how much does the guy get away with? He's gone for a total RKO there.
Is he not already on a yellow? So if this
he's already on a yellow, David, he should be off the pitch. Like, we all know he should be off the pitch. But he decided to ride him like a horse there.
He's gone for a famous there.
Genuinely, I mean,
penalty.
there
Penalty.
are no free. It's a pen. Come on, Jawohl. Second chance for Andre Silva. I swear, if Andre Silva's taking it again, it looks like it's Szoboszlai. It will be Szoboszlai. Oh yeah, Andre Silva was subbed out for Yusuf Poulsen. My fault. My fault. But Szoboszlai is going to be taking this one.
That was a famous man if I've ever seen it.
Jeez.
Dolph Ziggler shout out. And look at Donnarumma. Hey, it wasn't me. Yeah. Fulham beat Blackburn Rovers 7-0 today.
7-0.
What was the 7-0?
Blackburn Rovers are mid-table as well.
Jesus.
Blackburn Rovers. Yeah, who did they play
and
tonight?
QPR are up in 5th. Blackburn Rovers play Fulham. And Bournemouth lost to Preston. Yeah.
They played
Fulham beat
Blackburn
7-0.
Are you saying Blackburn Rovers won 7-0 or Fulham won 7-0?
No, Fulham won 7-0 against Blackburn.
Yeah.
And then Preston, who are like mid-table, beat Bournemouth, who are top 2-1.
Jesus. See, that's the thing with midweek championship games. There's always
championship.
There's always upsets midweek.
Come on, Szoboszlai. Come on.
Come on, in injury time.
Come on, Szoboszlai. Come on.
Telling him here he goes, running up the run up.
Jawohl! Jawohl für die Leipziger. Jawohl, das ist ein zweiter Tor für die Leipziger. Well done, Szoboszlai. Mit der Schuss, mit der Tor. Jawohl. Big up, Szoboszlai.
See, that's how you take a fucking penalty. Side netting.
Yeah, wow. Side netting as well. He guessed the right side. That is a fantastic penalty, actually. Guess the right side.
It's what I was talking about on the first one, Jack. If you want to play against Donnarumma, you have no error for margin if he dives the right side.
That's exactly what Jack was saying about perfect. What a hitter!
Side netting on a penalty. I mean, that's what side netting on a penalty.
Yeah.
That's anytime you get side netting on a penalty, I will say it's impressive, especially against Donnarumma. That is impressive. Again, best striker of the ball in Europe. That was impressive.
Won them this game tonight if he would have took that other chance earlier.
Yep, they should be still, David. In my opinion, they should be 6-2 up. They should be 6-2 up. Legitimately,
my 3-2's on.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is.
That'll be
feel bad for True Sets Free losing on his bet. Now I guess True Sets Free bet on a penalty for PSG, which is not a bad shout considering all the players on PSG that would probably flop for one. That's not a bad bet. That's not a bad shout.
So
it's been the other way around. True Sets Free. Unfortunately, it's been only Leipzig penalties that have been given tonight.
Oh, Leipzig, I tell you, they go away with this game with so many regrets, They could have won this. They could have won this tonight and kept them lives really a hope of getting out second. They're masters of their own downfall.
Well, they missed the penalty, that's just one clear cut off the bat.
Well, I mean, they missed the penalty and they probably missed about 3 or 4 others. Icardi, I didn't even get to see Paredes today. I love that man.
Yellow card for Poulsen. There's only a minute left. I think my 3-2 prediction's not going to happen.
Never say never in football, Shamu.
Oh, it's coming up to 4:20. I think I am now.
That's a horrible clearance by Nordi Mukiele. That is horrible.
Oh, should allow that, ref. Oh, scraps on.
I could
You're gonna
tell.
get
I
a
mean, this
card
is the
that
thing with
happens to
PSG,
me
though.
when
I don't
that
think
happens
there's
to
a
me when I was
team
playing
in
Ultimate Team.
Europe that likes PSG. Like, even the players themselves, the shithousery, the like the just foolishness, I don't even know. Like, David, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's like everybody
Yeah.
seems to hate PSG because they're just full of horrible people. Like, genuinely. Like, look at
Yeah.
that from Ander Herrera. Like, really? Like, really? And then he's raising his hands at the
That happened
ref,
to me when
and
I was
going
playing
down
FIFA.
for something like
Yeah.
that. I mean,
What did I
Jesus.
do? Idiot.
I mean, that guy's also, I mean, as much as people, if anybody forgot, Ander Herrera, should probably be banned for football for life for match fixing. He actually match fixed while he was at Athletic Bilbao, if anybody
Did he?
remembers. Yeah. Got in trouble for that.
I didn't know that.
That's poor control there.
He gambled on his own games, Dave.
No, I didn't know that. So was he banned?
No, he didn't get a full ban.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, ask
That's shocking.
ask UEFA or whatever. Like, Dave.
That's shocking.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but anybody that does remember,
limited time.
like, that is the case. He got in trouble for gambling. He got in trouble big time for gambling on his own games.
Man City beat Club Brugge 4-1. That's finished 4-1. Liverpool finished Atletico Madrid 2-0. Ajax ended up winning 3-1 against Storming with Davy Klaassen scoring in 90 plus 3 minutes. Sporting Lisbon bet Besiktas 4-0 and Inter Milan won 3-1. And this game is still going ahead.
And it's
2-2.
full time here.
And it's finished off here, everybody.
The game.
Thank you for joining us for this one. It's been an interesting one, I will say. Certainly has been an interesting one. I would say Leipzig, again, the fact that they only came away with a point is kind of insane. If you ask me, kind of insane. I don't know how they don't, really genuinely. I don't know how they did. But I don't know. It was a good game, though, still to pick. There could have been more goals in this. Honestly, it's just sitters were just missed this whole match, though. Sitters were just missed this whole match. I'm kind of glad we picked this match. It felt like still the best match to pick, personally. But, I mean, David first, I mean, how do you feel like? Was this the right match to pick maybe for the Champions League? I generally think it still was.
No, look, I think it could have been. Look, at the end of the day, Shamu's scoreline of 3-2 could have came in if Andre Silva took the penalty.
Sure.
Look, there's been chances either side, some very bad misses today, So, yeah, no, good game. Good game.
Shamu, how do you feel like after this one? Was this maybe still the right match to pick?
Yeah, I think it was quite good. I'm glad that we finally got that penalty at the end. It kind of made that second half worth it for us. We kind of watched a kind of slightly duller second half to the first half. It was just like kind of a bit of a watch, and the goal was just the best bit. Really kind of spiced it up, and was just they deserved it, Leipzig, because PSG just kept missing all their chances.
Yeah.
So
definitely agree.
I just
definitely agree.
Just disappointing from a PSG perspective, I guess, with all those players on the pitch, they can't produce.
Yeah,
like much,
Well, everybody, though, that is going to be all for the watch along.
Like David said.
Yeah, I'm raging I didn't get to see my man. It's the only reason why I turned up today, because I want to see Paredes.
I love Paredes, so I am kind of disappointed as well. That will be all for the watch along, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. Really a big shout out to everybody that's joined, from True Sets Free to Jerry, to Paul Markey, to Kuva, to Catman Jest. It's Tony Hall, to Paro Miguel Escobardo, to Mac, to Coys, which we'll be seeing you later for the Twitch stream. Matthew THFC Collins with a fantastic questions throughout the time as well. Everybody, honestly, thank you so much for joining this one. It's been a good one. It's been good vibing with you guys. Thank you for enjoying, this watch along with us. Thank you for watching the Champions League with us. Your knowledge of European football is impressive, I will say. It is very impressive. You guys, you could probably hold anybody to the fire when it comes to European football knowledge, this entire chat. But that'll be all for now. It will be more scout reports and everything coming out. Stefan de Vrij, who we've been rumored with, will be coming out tomorrow, I promise you, as well as also a few others that we've been rumored as well as a few others when it comes to maybe players that we might be rumored with, as well as players that I think we should still get. Of course, I also want to kind of mix it in with the Antonio Conte rumors, but scout reports will continue to come out. lots of videos are coming out on this channel. We're back hotter and heavier than ever, but we will continue to keep you satisfied in this channel. I apologize, again, for not really coming out with very much last week. It was just, kind of catching up with everything when I took a break over the weekend. And then, it was kind of a bit hectic on the main channel and everything. So do maybe give me a bit of I just would say I do apologize, but we'll come back hotter than heavier than ever. Shamu and I will be coming out with a weekend watch list, this upcoming weekend as well, for all the football matches that you should keep an eye out on, the football matches that you should probably take a look at. I mean, it's going to be a hectic weekend as well, considering that we are going to be playing on Sunday, and there are a lot of matches on Saturday and Sunday that you should be taking a look at. But that'll be all for now. Please please subscribe as well. Please hit that notification bell so you really just don't miss another Flat Cap Euro Talk video, so you just know what's out there for all of you, especially, again, since all these transfer rumors are coming out hot and heavy. The Kessier, video is already out. The Cody Gakpo video is already out. So please please subscribe, and we'll all be seeing you.